Hello, everyone. All right, we are live. Hopefully the audio works.
Yo,
God, I think my notes got even worse than last week.
I kind of just sped read, so I did not take a single note.
I mean,
I'm
that's
only
fine.
going on
I,
vibes.
Running
I
on
low-key
vibes
kind of
only.
sped read too, but that's because like I just want to know. I need to know, and now I need to read the next book because I need to know more.
Oh, what a cliffhanger! But
Yeah.
start.
All right.
Let's start from the beginning.
Let us.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up my notes.
My first note of chapter 30: sex so intense you shoot lightning.
Yeah, I can't believe that we stopped at like this chapter in the last episode, and also that this is only happening at chapter 30 out of 39. But I don't know.
No, I'm on board. I'm on board for that. Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
I'm so used to reading like other stuff where it's just like stuff
I'm
immediately
fine
happens.
with it taking like till the end of the first book for it to really happen, but
Too soon for my slow burn heart.
yeah, low key, I would have thought they wouldn't do anything until the second book.
I would want to see nothing until the third book.
Oh, hello, Andarna.
Andarna is
Yeah, I
watching.
saw the follow for Fuse Good. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully, well, I'm assuming you finished the book already, but we're gonna discuss the last couple chapters, so any book discussion is welcome in this chat. We had a few others last time, so. And if you haven't been reading it, you basically have been if you're listening to this, so.
Yeah, I mean, we do say all the spoilers, all the spoilers ahead.
Yes,
spoilers.
that's why I keep the chapter numbers on the screen, so. All right. Yeah, so 30. Yeah, we got more action. And then Andrea, I wrote this note. I'm like, okay, so Violet got that character arc you were talking about last time, Andrea.
Yes.
Excuse me, that was my joke.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Please don't take credit for my joke.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, still, I thought it was interesting that these 9 chapters had the most amount of descriptions compared to the other 30. Like, I actually knew what was going on instead of just like teleporting around the other 30. So I appreciated that.
I think it's also because these last chapters were very like streamlined, like everything was sequential, and there wasn't these weird just like, and now we're in class. And
Yeah.
Which I feel like makes sense to an extent because like they are in school, so you're not gonna like write every single boring fucking thing that happens like in the semester. You do have to skip stuff, and now it's like the actual meat of it at the end finally.
For sure.
Yeah, even in Harry Potter, they would go through like they wouldn't say every single thing that happens in this magical school. But at least I appreciated the all the descriptions. But yeah, sex so good. It makes you break wardrobes.
Break all your furniture.
Lots of
it makes you burn trees outside and then shatter all your furniture with shadows.
Yeah, she's really gonna have to get a handle on that because that's not sustainable.
Yeah,
because Xaden, all he does, he's splintering some chairs, some tables. That's fine, but lighting trees on fire outside of your own room and blasting your windows open—that's a bit much.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out I wrote this note next to in which Xaden says to her when he's like talking about how like fucking horny he is for her. He says, I can't get anywhere near you, and this is what happens. Instantly hard. Has he just been hard on his pants this entire book?
It's those rider pants. You can't see through them, so it's like
he's
they're tight leather pants. They're tight leather
30
pants.
chapters.
He's been writing on full like hard on the entire book.
My dude is gonna pass out.
He's lightheaded the entire book.
Yeah, I was like, are you fucking real?
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think that far. I didn't think about it that hard, but that is actually very funny to think that he's just hard the entire book.
Hard.
I mean, his characterization makes sense if he's been hard the entire book.
He's
But
just
then
always
Uh,
it
frustrated.
makes it
That's
makes
why his
sense why
face
he
always looks kind of odd, or like he looks
yeah,
kind of annoyed. It's because he's hard.
and why he abandoned like hating her and like went straight into like yeah, let me get together. It's because he's hard. You know, like
Immediately.
it's
Every
immediately.
every plot point just can be explained because he's
Explained.
hard.
Ah, man, you
Yeah,
can't blame him. He was hard.
he was hard, yeah. Enemies to lovers, I mean, just lovers, like no, straight up strangers to lovers. Yeah, he's hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's what he sounded like, he said. But I also wrote, why does he like her hair so much? Like, he seems like he has, like, something for her hair. I guess it's just cool looking.
I
I don't know.
I mean, it's like a thing though, you know. It's like in right now to have a little bit of white, like gray streaks in your hair. You know what I mean?
She's so
Guys can still
trendy.
be all over the white
So
hair too. I mean, look it up.
I think Yarros just knows what's up, and she's down with the people. She knows what the people want, and Xaden is the people.
Yeah, he wants a little white hair in her girl and his girl. You know, I mean, just like we all like white hair in our people,
In our anime protagonists.
Yeah.
in our protagonists.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, that's how he knows that she's violent.
Or that
'Cause she
she's the
got the white
protagonist.
hair. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
Got a
yeah.
secret evil side.
She's gonna have all her hair turn white by the end of the series. That's my prediction.
Yeah. We do love
To make
that
the full
trope.
transition.
I also wrote a note at the part where Xaden's talked to her and he's like, I'm not sweet. Please don't mistake any part of me for soft or kind. That will only get you hurt, and whatever you do, don't fall for me. Like, that's
Oh my
fucking
God.
edgelord.
I was reading that and I was like, come on. He has to
Edgy
tell you for
motherfucker.
23.
Yeah.
Xaden
it
is
at
everything I wanted to be when I was 10.
You wanted to spit some,
Don't
like,
fall
cold
for
line
me.
like that to this girl that likes you.
Dude, that was a bar. That was the kind of bar I said in my head to my fake girlfriend at 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's saying it in his mid-20s, has a full-on dragon, has also the shadow power. He commands shadows and tells your girl, don't fall for me.
Don't fall for me. Okay, but we said we were going to rate the chapter 1 to 5 chili peppers. What's everyone's
Oh,
opinion of the spice?
So this one, I honestly, I read this like a total like week ago. I think I finished it on like Tuesday of last week. So I'm confusing it with the other one, but I'm reading my other notes. I think this one was like the longest one kind of though, right?
That was like the whole chapter, yeah.
Or was
Yeah,
it only the one thing? I thought they did it like twice.
It was that the whole chapter
Well-
was that plus like you kind of they talk I don't want to go too far ahead, but they
Yeah,
talk about like his scars and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, okay, so this one, chili, like 1 to 5 chili peppers, I would say like a 3.5.
Yeah, I was gonna go 3.5
agree.
lightning bolts.
Lightning
3.5
bolts, yeah.
lightning
Blue
strikes.
scale.
3.5 charred trees. Yeah, I would say 3. It was like honestly better than I was expecting. But
Yeah, it
it was
wasn't
like nothing
too
crazy,
cheesy.
but
Me
yeah, and
too.
it was like very intense, which was nice, breaking all the
I
shit.
mean, because like, are we comparing fanfic smut or just like book talk smut?
I don't think you can compare fanfics. Fan fiction authors are way hornier than any publicized author can be.
That's
Like
quite true.
you can't compare the two.
Well, I've never read any other like romantasy smut,
Yeah,
so
neither
have
book
I.
talk smut. So I wouldn't know
Neither.
how to compare it to that. So I'm comparing it to fanfic, I guess.
I've
but just in
only
general.
read one, to be fair.
Yeah, how does this
but-
compare to Avatar, in your opinion?
I think in terms of first books alone, in terms of the first sex scene, I think this is way better than Akatar.
Really?
It's like it feels more like, I don't know, I was like way more into it in this one. Like it felt more visceral. Akatar,
Very
it felt like someone wanted to write smut, but they were in church while doing it.
Oh
so they
my
couldn't.
god.
Like embarrassed.
Yeah, like it felt
feel that.
it felt too flowery to be true
Like
smut.
they didn't really, they kept pulling punches. Like they didn't go for it.
Like, no spoilers for it, but as it goes on, it gets less flowery. It gets more into it. But like in terms of first books alone, this was a lot better, I think, in terms of like the actual like smutty parts of the book.
Right,
Yeah, I
okay.
can't compare it to another book talk, but at least from the fanfic that I've read, it would be like two ish chili peppers.
Makes sense.
Maybe a little bit less.
Mhm.
That makes sense in
Yeah.
comparison to like most fanfics I've read too. I would say it's something like that. In comparison
Yeah.
to like regular people
That
media,
is true. That
I
is
would say
true.
it's probably a 3.5 to a 4.
Yeah, and like the descriptions
even-
weren't too like graphic and they
Yeah.
weren't too like weird, like too out there. Like sometimes, especially in fanfic, when people are like writing stuff, it kind of like doesn't make sense, or they're writing like a metaphor that doesn't really come together.
Yeah.
So, but this one was okay. I thought it was fine. Like it was like well written, not amazing and not terrible.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
liked it.
I agree. It was middling. Yeah.
It's something
But,
that I
like-
could read in the subway, you know? Like that's how I rate the spiciness of the I could read this, yeah.
Well,
in
that's a low,
there's
that's
some
a low bar for me.
It's-
But
yes, true.
Ain't that a low bar for all? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
Nah, I can't
That
read
is
it on the
true.
subway. Well, I guess it's words,
I
so
would-
it doesn't really matter.
I would
not a
yeah,
manga.
shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I mean overall, it was too chilly for me.
Andarna was blushing through the chapter. I mean, Violet gets to come 3 times, so that's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's great for her.
I will say I was squealing in my room.
Yeah,
but
I was like metaphorically kicking my feet, like you know.
I was raising my eyebrows.
I my eyes darkened.
Your voice hardened.
But I think I actually did have to switch positions as it was getting more into it because I was like, ooh.
Yeah, no, I got comfy. I was like, oh, this is nicer than what I expected.
Yeah. Good.
But yeah, after being in Jujutsu Kaisen, fanfic world, I'm like desensitized.
Uh,
But that's a me problem.
Yeah, so well, your scaling is like probably gonna be lower than ours, just because
Yeah,
like you've
that's-
you've seen
that's
some
a-
shit, or
Yeah.
you've
I feel
read
like
some
I-
shit.
I feel like I've read the least fan fiction out of all of you, technically.
for sure.
It's a wonderful
Actually, yeah,
world.
you're right, for sure.
Well, I
It's
mean,
a
I don't know
wonderful
Miana's life, but
Oh, I mean, I've read
I
spicy
know
ones
me and
before.
Andre.
Yeah, progressively gotten spicier. But
Yeah.
other chapter 30 notes I had. Oh, they use both male and female both control. So progressive. And then I said, no wonder why everyone in the Riders Quadrant is doing it. It's because they can.
Yeah. Oh, I did like that. The
Really?
birth
Wait,
control.
what happened?
Mhm.
Oh, the birth
Oh,
control stuff?
The
Yeah.
birth control, yes.
The dudes also have birth control. I was like, wow. Look at
So, like, it
Yarros
makes
just
sense.
pushing our agenda.
I mean, honestly, it just makes so much more sense to have both parties like use birth control. I don't know why we're so like this medieval fantasy is more advanced than us.
Yeah.
Because it's what could have been.
Alright.
We could have had dragons and male birth control.
And birth control. Wow.
Male
really all
birth
I ever
control
wanted.
is just as fantastical as dragons.
Could only happen in fantasy.
Because yeah, can only happen.
But, you know,
Uh,
aside from the hot, intense romance and burning of trees and furniture shattering, they did also have a, you know, an intimate, like a very central, intimate moment, you know, talking about seeing his scars on his back,
oh,
learning
yeah.
about
Yeah,
what it
that was a
means,
big plot point.
seeing the damage physically on his body.
And I appreciate also, I mean, it kind of goes a little bit more into other chapters, how like actively pursuant Violet is about Xaden, because usually it's like the female character's more passive and being pursued, but she's like, nah, fuck you. You told me like
Mhm.
don't fall for me, but I'm gonna ignore that. Tell me
Yes,
why.
that was a nice change of pace from everything I've been reading, where it's just like, oh no, I can't
Yeah.
like you, or like I like you, but like I can't say anything.
Mhm.
I'm happy she said some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I mean, my whole gripe is that it happened too soon, but it's not
Yeah.
that it happened at all.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I
I
agree.
do like it when characters fight like for a relationship to happen. I just like, and I like that it
Mhm.
was her who did it.
Yeah,
Uh,
just take an initiative.
and I also didn't quite understand his perspective. Like, still, like after reading the end of the book, is why didn't he want her to fall for him again?
I think it was just like the
I'm
family
Because
thing, or maybe we'll find
I
out more in the
a
next
I'm
book.
secret.
I think it's a mix of a lot of. It's probably one his secret. I don't want to skip
Yeah.
ahead too far, but his secret.
Yeah.
Also he just has, I think, just trust issues with her family and just anyone that's not part of his side too in general. He
Yeah.
has a bunch of
Well,
scars on his back reminding him of what he's had to sacrifice,
yeah.
so I think it's like a mix of a lot of things.
And he's carrying so much of like the responsibility for all like the whole secret thing and everything.
Yeah.
And like the fact that like Dane could read memories and all of that, like it's not
Oh
just him
yeah.
putting his heart and feelings at risk, he's putting the entire operation at risk as well if she's not, gonna be on their side.
At this point, doesn't
Mm.
she know too much?
Not yet, not at this scene. She doesn't know like the whole secret conspiracy yet. And Darna
Adarna,
says, I think it's
I
because he
think
didn't want to hurt
I
her.
totally
Yeah.
agree. I think a part of it is definitely he doesn't want to hurt her out of some like weird sense of love. Uh, but I think his idea behind like not wanting to hurt her is also just all the insecurities and mistrust he's built up over the years, given how much he has to shoulder.
Because he's so emo.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
he has a lot of burden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a lot
I'll
around.
revisit the topic once we go a little bit more further in like to the chapters, because then he like once shit goes down, he like backtracks so quickly. I'm like, what was the point of all that then? But that was chapter. Anything else for chapter 30?
I just had
Well,
his
he leaves her
shadows. I was like,
flowers.
what'd
So
you say?
that was cute. He leaves her flowers in the morning.
Oh yeah,
Does it
that was
just sneak
cute.
off?
Well,
Oh yeah.
specifically
See, like
violets.
Mm-hmm.
he does that, and I'm like, what? You're giving mixed signals here.
The
Which
man
honestly,
doesn't
I
that's
understand his
very
own
know.
he doesn't
yeah, which
understand
is
his own
honestly
emotions. He's trying
very
to fight.
much
He's trying
like,
to fight his emotions, man.
which is honestly very on brand.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying his shadows are like mage hands. I forget what they were doing specifically,
Mm-hmm.
but I just wrote, "Dang, the shadows do your bidding."
Oh, they were cleaning up the mess while she was sleeping.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Oh
So I was like,
yeah.
that's like
The
mage
room.
hands in D&D. I thought that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I would love to have that power. Can you imagine not having to do your chores because you have just hands to do it for you?
Yo, that
Like you
ass.
would never have to fold your laundry.
You don't
I
have to
mean,
do
I
any of
feel like
that.
he has to use his brain to do that with the shadows. Like he's controlling the
Yes.
shadows.
Like say it could be the little like a princess, like who commands things.
But actually, I don't. I mean, yes, I think he does have to use his brain, but they kind of imply that it's more like he's talking to the shadows and they obey him in a way.
So
It's not
he
just like,
commands shadows.
yeah,
Mm.
like it's
That's
almost like
even
he's
cooler, honestly.
yeah, because they even explain like the shadows also like kind of like weirdly. It's not just like he's thinking with it like make this a hand, pick this up. It's like pick this up and he's like talking to it. At least that's my understanding of how it works. Also, I might
So
be
it's more
influenced
like
by Akatar because there's someone who talks to shadows in that one. I'm not gonna be.
I don't
I
remember.
might be influenced by that.
So it's more like unseen servant in D&D than mage hand.
Mm.
Kind of. It sounds like that. I think it's like a kind of like an in between where it's not like a fully like sentient thing.
Well, unseen servant can only do like simple tasks. It's not like a fully sentient.
Okay, so then
But
maybe it is like
yeah,
that. At least that was my understanding. I might be wrong.
we'll believe it.
Yeah. And then
Also, I think it's just cooler to have him like talk to shadows and not just control shadows.
I mean,
do
they
you think
haven't
they
fully
talk
explained
anything
how
back?
like yeah, can they gossip?
Yeah, do we get an end bonus chapter just of the shadows? What are the shadows up to?
Yeah.
The
Like, God
shadows'
damn
thoughts
it,
on
he
their
told us to
romance
clean
and
up
everything.
again.
Yeah. The shadows just like sitting by eating popcorn, watching Their lives go to shit.
Oh my god. Alright, and then the end of the chapter, I had that when Violet was training with Professor Carr in the mountains, I was like, there's your Sense8 stuff. Even though I didn't watch Sense8, but I always hear you guys talk about that.
Oh yeah, when
He was like flashing
He's
those
like, oh,
images to the mind.
try to remember what made you
What
like use the power, and he just sends
Yeah.
their full sex tape to her brain.
Yes.
Download. Yeah, you're right. That is some sensation.
Alright, anything else for chapter 30?
Cool.
Wait, we
No.
were still in chapter 30.
Just-
That's pretty
Yeah, that was still chapter 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
I
some
think we
chapters
just-
are extremely long and some are like 5 pages.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so 31.
All right.
31 is fucked.
Yeah, my first note just said, I'm just as
Mm.
confused as Violet when Xaden says he won't fall for her. I think we kind of already talked about that in the last one, but
Yeah.
she said, oh, I deserve, well, this is a quote, I deserve more than a relationship that's only on his terms. I'm like, Violet spitting facts. More people need to know
There you go.
this, even in real life relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really appreciated her perspective on it because I was like, how many times do we have to like go through? Oh, he doesn't want me, so I guess it's like I guess I need to like just let it happen. But she calls it out as bullshit, so I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
But
She gets the note from her dad in the book.
yeah,
A letter. Finally. I feel like she's supposed to be really like so smart, but this bitch is dumb as shit.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't get what's going on. She reads this, and then it takes like later on when it takes her so long to get on board. I'm like, oh my god, you've been seeing everything we've been seeing.
I mean, technically, she's
Yeah,
been growing
no.
up in the military family, so I'm sure they like maybe have dispelled most of the like rumors or like conspiracies. Like, nah, like that shit's not real, Violet. Don't believe that.
Yeah,
she
but
already
it's like
knew about
the
the
secret missive
Venom.
she found, that the book wasn't in the library. Like she's been getting all the clues we've been getting.
Yeah, and I mean, our alarm bells were going off, but she's like, "No, I can't believe it." And I'm like, "You really?"
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about like that being her whole world and where she's grown up, and it's always been like this is the truth of your world.
But I think like she only has
I don't
true
know.
allegiance to Mira, who
Yeah.
like I don't think she likes her mom very much. So like if I would like be okay with well then again, I'm not Violet. But if I hated my mom, or at least like I dislike my mom, I'd be more inclined to just like be like, yeah, the military's bullshit. I have all these seen these clues, and just go on and join. But oh well, it's hard to like go through the brainwashing.
Yeah. But I feel like with how much she like sort of like idolized her father, she like finds this note and then is kind of like, weird. Okay, well, whatever. Like we're not more worried about this cryptic note.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, cool. My dad sent a letter, like, to me in the future.
A
Then, like,
secret
pockets it.
letter that she just discovered like many years later.
Yeah.
Honestly, if like my
Folklore teaches
dead
us about our
father,
past.
yeah, if I found something from my
God.
dead father that was new, I'd be like, oh my god, like I should treasure this, and like, I don't know. She
I
didn't really
would
read
think
into
about it more than just like 5 minutes. I'm gonna be honest.
Or be like, what? At least trying to figure out like what that means. I thought she'd be more interested in that,
Now we
but I
gotta.
guess
It's the hormones, man. Because I'm
yeah,
rereading, and then we like
for mystery.
When you
one
got a
page
shadow
later.
inside you, it's like it's gonna be hard to think about anything else.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
literally, like
Oh.
it takes one desperate generation to change history, even erase it. Like that would make me think for a while, but no, two
Yeah.
pages later, it's like, um,
And then we're back to talking to Xaden about how he's not gonna fall for her or whatever.
yeah, he's not
Yeah.
Yeah, she got more important things to think about.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there,
Wait,
Wait,
And
go
then they're
ahead, Lewis.
talking sexy to each
Wait,
other.
wait. Are we on chapter 31 or 32? I
This
feel like I
is
lost track.
31 still.
31.
31.
Yeah.
It's still
Okay.
31.
Okay, yeah. I got a little lost of where we were.
But that scene where they were in the cafeteria, and then she made him choke with her like mental words. I actually laughed out loud. I really did. I like chuckled.
Yeah.
That was so funny. It kind of reminded me of that Twilight scene when they're like staring at each other from across the room, except then this time Xaden like chokes because like she
Yeah.
sent him something funny.
I do like that. I like the banter.
For
They've
sure.
gotten better.
Yeah.
They've gotten better banter now, which I appreciate, and that is one of my favorite parts of the emotional or of the relationship development this stage. So I was enjoying it.
And then they also announced that the War Games is still going on. So I wrote, for the love of God,
Yeah.
someone please tell me what the War Games are. Why is there another part when they're only 10 days from the end of the year? I was still extremely confused about that.
It's just I is it like an ongoing yeah, I also am a little I thought it was like a tournament or something that happens once, but it sounds like it's just always happening all the time.
I thought it happened like
Like
once a year. Like I thought it was supposed to be like field
Yeah, at
day
the end
or
of the
like
year.
battle of the classes or something, but they're only 10 days from the end of the year, and like you want to kill off like more of your graduates or more of your students. Like, all right, sure.
Yeah.
Also,
And
like,
if
what do they win?
We don't know.
I think
pride.
just glory. Yeah.
And I
But
think
it like was
pride
never
matters the most though.
explained what it is or like what the rules are of it. Yeah. Like, okay, I guess we're still doing that. Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the end of the year, and in a while, like in a bit, it doesn't even matter anymore.
Assuming you survive them.
Yeah. Oh no, I meant by
Yeah.
the revelations.
Oh, okay, yeah. True. All right, and then my last note for 31, I think this is a quote from Xaden, but he wrote that, or he said, that mind of yours is sexy as hell. I'm like, huh? That's kind of cringe, bro. I was like,
I get
I
that.
don't know if anyone says that out loud.
Yeah, there was. I felt my fair share of like cringe flirting. I feel like in the like talking between them, but I mean it could be worse. It wasn't that bad, but
Yeah,
there
I
was
just
stuff
thought it
that
was
I was like,
funny. I'm not, he definitely has some cooler
eh.
lines, edgier lines that I don't mind. All right, anything else for 31 though?
We finally met the king.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
true, that
nice.
was 31.
Because I was like, who the
Mhm.
fuck is the king? I just mentioned that. Oh, he shows up. Um,
The
can't
king
say he was
sounds like
very
a
memorable
bitch.
though.
No.
Yeah, he was kind of.
Like he's exactly what I thought he would be like.
Yeah, which
Like a
brings me back to
pompous,
like why
rich old
exactly.
guy.
Just a rich old guy who just thinks he's more important. To be fair, he might be more important than I think he is.
But that's the thing. The book has to. I mean, at least for now, it hasn't really told us that they're that important. Because like they can't have dragons, right? So why are they empowered?
See, I still don't even remember the
Um,
book telling us that, even though like Leaf in the last stream said that, and I'm like, did they mention it like in a one throwaway sentence and I didn't remember it? So
Probably.
maybe
Yeah.
we'll learn more.
problem. Yeah, I think hopefully we'll learn more about the kingdom, and who knows, maybe they help cover up with the military, the conspiracy, so they work together.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well,
We have just Liam being the most precious sweetheart little
I
baby
love
boy,
Liam.
and I love him so much, and I'm very angry
Yes,
me too.
same.
for later.
Mm.
Yeah, when we get there.
Oh my! I was
Yeah.
yelling. I was yelling.
All right, what else
I was
happened in
reading it like
32 though?
outside in the park, and I was like, I'm mad in public.
I closed the book, stood up, and started pacing, and like flexing.
Okay, we'll get to that later, but
But 32 was just
Um,
her escaping from the banquet or whatever the hell they were having.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
also
going.
finding Xaden on the parapet again.
Yeah,
mhm,
that was pretty emo.
Yeah,
mhm.
with
And then
wasn't it raining too?
No, it was just windy this
It's
time.
windy, I
No, it
think.
was
Oh,
windy.
just windy?
It was just windy,
Okay.
yeah. And I will say that is the most emo shit ever, is to just
Yeah.
dangle off of a wooden
cliff.
plank,
Yeah.
And
basically.
stare up at the moon.
Yeah.
Stare at the moon,
into
yeah,
the
stare at the
distance.
stars. It made me like Xaden more for some weird reason.
Yeah, it made him
He
feel
is
more
your emo
realistic.
idol. Also, yeah, I would do that shit too.
Classic.
My man was listening
Maybe
to
at
Bruno
23 as
Mars
well.
and just crying.
Yeah. Maybe at 23 too. So I can't even say, like he's too old to be. Nah, I still do it, I think.
Yeah.
I'll still
Sometimes
stare
you
out the
put on
window.
a sad song and stare out the window when you're driving in a
like-
car
Yes, if your your parents are
in the
still
back
driving
seat.
you because
Yeah.
100%. Xaden the type of dude to trace the raindrops on his window as it's falling.
Yes.
That's like the opening scene from Twilight. Or I think when she's in the school or something. Going to school.
Yeah, so I feel
Oh,
that that's
she,
quite
like-
relatable. I'd still
Mhm.
do it, Xaden.
Alright, and then we got a
Yeah.
little more spiciness. So overall, what did you guys rate this one?
Oh, some more spicy scene?
I think this one
Yeah,
was
there
right.
was another one. Yeah, I literally
Mhm.
wrote "cum equals lightning."
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about this one.
Yeah, this is when
Um,
she drags him up to his room and they go to his room and fuck
Yeah.
some shit up, so
I might have been
Yeah.
thinking about
Yeah,
this one. Oh, is that the one where she like destroys his armoire or something?
I think that was
In
hers.
the first one,
too.
they
No,
destroy her arm.
Oh,
but she did destroy more stuff.
She shatters his window.
Yeah, shattered the
Lightning.
window. And then he protected them with his shadows while she was doing all this.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly
That's hot.
had
I like that.
no notes in this chapter other than I don't know at which point of their doing this was, but I wrote his teeth. I don't think you use teeth down there, and I don't know what it was describing, but I was very confused because I was like, huh?
oh yeah.
Yeah, he was
You're right.
eating her out.
Yeah, but I'm like, I
Your
don't
teeth,
think
and I
your
was
teeth
like,
go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read I kind of glanced over that. I was like, no
I remember.
way.
I remember thinking that. I was like, okay.
Okay, I'm not the only
was
one
like,
that was
"Hey, girl."
weirded out from that.
I think it's
Oh,
one of
oh,
those
Rebecca.
details that you just gloss over because
Was
you're
it-
like, that was weird.
I was like,
There was
Rebecca,
also
teeth?
something. Hey, I mean, I don't know. Oh yeah, in this chapter also. Okay, this was also the sex scene. I was so confused because he's like fucking her, and it says he adjusts the angle so he hits my clit with every thrust, and I was like, do you know where that is located on the anatomy of a body? I was like, is he inside of her or is he outside of her?
I thought like she meant the G spot. That would make
I
sense.
guess, but which I suppose it is that, but that
makes
description confused me.
Yeah, overall there was just a couple of choice words that I was like, interesting. Okay.
That did confuse me. But she comes a bunch of times this time, so good for her again.
Good for her.
I don't remember
She's winning.
the details though, but I think I would say I'd probably rate this one maybe the same, if not like a quarter of a chili pepper spicier. What do you guys think?
I kind of forgot about it to begin with.
Yeah, I think it was
so
kind of
it's gonna
short
be
because
it.
it got cut off by the end of the chapter when someone's knocking on the
Yeah.
door.
And then the Fire Nation attack.
Yeah,
we need to get out of
exactly.
bed.
Yeah. Well, this one I
Yeah,
feel was more of like I feel like, as tends to happen, like the first scene described is like very in detail and specific, and this one is kind of just like more of an overview version.
Yeah, because
Even though they
it sounded like they were
are
going
fucking
for a long
longer.
time. Yeah,
Yeah,
like the montage version.
yeah.
Yeah, so I would like go like half half the
two?
chili
I don't
pepper
know.
down, I think. Mostly because I forgot that even happened. And also the weird anatomical
Inconsistencies.
decisions.
Or
But-
the vocabulary use.
Yeah, but she still gets to finish a couple times, so that's good for her. We like a girl. We like our queens finishing multiple
Yeah.
times, but
And he always ensures she finishes first.
Mhm.
exactly.
What a lad.
What a
We like that.
lad. Wow. You can tell it's written by a woman.
But then
I mean,
I was
but then,
but then
huh?
under attack after sex, Jesus Christ, war games again.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like, God damn it, War
They
Games.
got me though.
Oh,
They
look,
actually
you
thought they
get,
were under
you got
attack.
me.
Not gonna
Oh,
lie.
me
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
too.
They
Yeah.
got me. They got
I was
me.
exclaiming, and then immediately after, like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah, I was
Can you
like, I would have been
can you
so
imagine
upset.
how mad they would like Zeta would have actually been after being blue balled by fucking a weird ass like games thing that goes the whole semester?
Yeah, that he's already done like multiple times. If you think about it, because he's in his last year, right? So he knows it doesn't mean for shit.
Mhm.
But I was
Yeah.
wondering, shouldn't they expect that there should be like a surprise drill? Because I wrote, did they get woken up in the middle of a random night last year for last year's war games? Like, shouldn't they
I
come to expect
My
something?
understanding is I don't think they did. I think this was like a special because I think it was because this is like wait no this is the anniversary, so it's every year. I don't know. Maybe they didn't do it last year.
Or maybe
It
they
seems
didn't
Or maybe
like
this
surprise
is
them
the
at night.
trap for them.
it seems like maybe the like details of the game sort of change every year because when they did that big like capture the flag thing, there's something like, and this year we've brought back the crystal eggs or whatever the fuck. So it seems
Yeah.
like it's sort of kind of like they know that something's going to happen, but maybe it's not exactly the same every year. Also, I feel like they wouldn't have been expecting it on the evening of this party thing,
True.
even if they
Yeah.
did know it was coming.
And also I think because Xaden's been going out on these like secret missions for like the country, and also Violet already is kind of like knows that the government keeping shit and they're like worse off than they really are. I think it was just bad timing. Also, they're super distracted. Bad timing for them to think war games. It's just like
I just thought that it was that the government, this was part of their trap for them because they already by now know that about Dane probably told them right, that they've been meeting in secret.
we don't know about that yet, though.
No, what I'm saying is that the
But
government does.
I
Oh.
think
that's why they're
Dane
getting them in
touches
the
her
trap.
face in the formation for this, doesn't he?
Oh,
Isn't that
wait, no,
conversation
yes, yeah.
after
I
they've
think,
been called?
yeah, that's when he finds out.
Wait, so he
Oh,
told
it's in
them there?
Or wait, no. It could
That wouldn't make sense for like
no, yeah,
the timeline of them setting
timing
up
wise,
that
no, yeah,
trap.
timing wise, it wouldn't make sense because actually, no, he's touched her face like that multiple
When did
times.
that happen?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's like they never made that big of a deal of it because we didn't know
Yeah.
she wouldn't know if when he was doing
No,
it.
but she just found out where he's been going after they fucked. In that conversation, she was like, "Tell me something real or whatever," and she's like, "Where have you been going?" So she found out recently. I guess maybe
I
it was
thought it
after
was
that was after the first time
the
they fucked, which was like a month ago, I guess, in the timeline. So they would have had time, I suppose, to
I
set
thought it
this
was
up.
like the tree meetings too, because she's known for a while.
No, but they needed to know exactly where they've been going, which is Athbine or whatever. I don't forget how it's
Athbine, yeah.
pronounced. To set up that like trap for them. That's why Zayden got assigned to go there. That's the like information that Zane.
So
or
I
that
still have no
Dane
clue then when Dane
told.
found out from Violet.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Sometime
If anyone in the
between
chat knows, feel free to say it because
the first time they
we
fucked
can't remember.
and now.
Yeah, I mean,
There's,
she
like,
just said like they
a
just
community
figure it out,
of
but they never say exactly. Like she never has a flashback to when exactly this could have been, or it's not very.
I mean, that might have been part of like they didn't explain it because she's like that is how Dane just touches her face all the time. Like it could have been any of those times was the point.
I wish it was more emphasized though because I was just confused. Like I think it would have been more sasatisfying if like me as the reader like figured it out. I'm like, oh yeah, it's that time Dane touched her like then.
Yeah.
But
in hindsight though, they do when
There
they
was
do mention it, they do mention it's like, oh, and he touched like my cheek, grabbed my cheek like he always does. Like they've mentioned that multiple times actually. So I think
But
it's
doesn't
sort of
Xaden
I
know?
would never have thought about that. Because
But
she
doesn't
also
Xaden
made a
know how
point.
her.
Xaden knows, but Xaden, I don't think ever saw him doing that really, except for when they kissed that one time, and that was not what was on Xaden's mind at the time.
Yeah. But I remember there being a specific scene where they like described that happening, and then when they like did the reveal, I remember thinking back to that, but now I can't remember when that scene was. 'Cause I thought
me
it was
either.
this part, like right before she leaves for this like war game shit. But that wouldn't make sense with timelines.
Oh, and Donner says, I think he found out at the
He
unification
found
party.
out at the unification party.
That was the banquet that they just had, though?
That would
Yeah.
actually still kind of make sense.
But that was technically the night
timeline-wise.
before, right? Did he touch her then?
Yeah,
I gotta.
Yeah.
Someone
He
flip
did.
back. I don't
No,
have my
he
book
he
written.
he.
Yeah.
I think he did, and that would make sense because Dane would have time to tell his dad, and they would have time
Yeah,
to plan
so
everything
And that's
around.
probably why they did the war game
So-
like that next couple of hours later.
exactly that because that's why I thought they were like so surprised by it. Because Dane, but like reading back, like thinking back on it in hindsight, I was like, oh, Dane probably already told them, and that's why they probably weren't planning on doing a war game at that
Yeah.
time.
Mm.
But
And it
they,
explains why Dane's like, "Are you sure you're gonna go with him?"
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dane's such a bitch,
But
bro.
I gotta
hate
flip
him.
back to that page now because I don't remember. Maybe like he was admiring Violet, so like he kind of like touched her face to like brush her hair or something.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what you ever saw in him. Dane been a bitch since
Listen,
day one.
I only liked him
Yeah,
after like the
agreed.
first session we had. I was still like on the fence about him, but then the next session we had for like the second set of chapters, I was like, yeah, nah, Dane ain't it anymore. Also, he has a beard, so I kind of wasn't extremely into him.
That's where I
Yeah,
draw the line.
That's where I draw the line. Facial
He has
hair.
he has a beard. No, I also I
Yep,
thought there
at
was something
the-
he was too stickler about rules.
At
Oh,
the
so it is?
party, he cuts her cheek. Yeah.
Oof.
After he
Yeah,
like
so then it
they talk to
so
the
then it makes
king, and then
sense.
he talks to the king, and he comes over and talks to her and Liam.
All right, thank you,
and then,
Andarna,
like,
for the
brushes
memory
her
check.
face.
Yeah, so that's why. I mean, now it makes sense because I was like, if he had touched her at formation in this war games, then it
Yeah.
would have been too quick of a change for because they got their assignments before.
Yeah.
Like it would have been like the logistics would have not worked out, I think. So I was like,
Yeah.
Dane definitely told them by then.
But then also, is he just like reading her mind like every time they meet? Because like there's no
Yo.
reason for him to be looking for anything. Like I don't think she had done anything to like
That's what I
warrant
think
that,
he's been
right?
doing. But I
Like,
think
he just
he
is checking?
does. I think he like I don't know if it was necessarily like military reasons of why he'd be checking, but he could tell that there was something weird going on between Xaden and her
Mm.
earlier on.
Definitely,
And it might not
definitely.
even been like for military. It's just Dane being a bitch and jealous.
Mhm.
hmm
I could
But
totally
didn't
see him
Violet
doing
say like
that.
she thought that Dane could only do it with like permission, or is it he could just take anyone's memories if he just touched
No.
her?
No,
touch
she
them.
just thought that she would be able to tell if he was doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
don't-
and
obviously
she
she
thought
wasn't.
that he wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
because he-
trusted him.
Yeah, because of
Yeah.
that one time where he's like, "Can I look at your memories?" And like, and she said no, and he was like, he eventually said, "Okay, fine." But I think because of that, she also just assumed he wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my
She
next
just
question
trusted
is
him.
like, how is he different than any other of what do they call the mind readers?
They explain
Intrinsic.
because there's a limit to his powers of physical touch.
Mhm.
They can control it more.
And it sounds like
Yeah.
he's gonna be a government like hound or a government like lap.
Yeah, and like
Mhm.
and they also just know his personality as
And his
being kind
dad.
of like a stickler, and that he's the son of like an advisor of the general. I think it's easier to control than someone who has unfettered access, who could just like be in the room with you and see what's
Yeah.
in your mind.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
so
I
overall,
also
all
like,
my homies hate him. Huh?
yeah, I really wonder how his like power works, because he got like
Yeah, me too.
the exact information you need. Can he like, right? Because wouldn't he just be getting like months of memories at a time? You know, like how is he zeroing in on like the thing?
Maybe it's
I'm
like
curious
it's
how it
like a
works.
Google search. Like if he looks into your memory and has like a certain thing,
Yeah,
he thinks
like because
he
he
should
just
be.
searched for like memories of Xaden generally, but also he like touches her for like a second, so it must be done really fast.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
what I'm
curious
saying,
about
like,
this.
it's Instantaneous.
Remember, guys,
Download
it's
speeds.
magic. Remember, it's magic, guys. Like
Yeah, but I want to know about the magic. I want to know. Give me the lore, Yarros.
Yeah, me too.
But from what
I'm for the plot.
I think it is probably is kind of like an instant download.
Yeah.
Of like
Yeah,
on
but-
touch, and then he could kind of sift through the memories logically, afterwards.
So it's probably
but
just
I'm
everything
with
on
Ren.
Xaden.
I mean,
would
I
run
agree.
'cause I'm like,
I
Yeah, I wanna
prefer
know.
when there's a hard magic system and everything's explained because it's more
it doesn't even
interesting.
have to be hard magic. It just has to be explained magic. Like, I don't need
Yeah.
it to like to be super like have a rule system
Nah,
like
yeah. But
Brandon Sanderson's hard magic systems.
I will say I think yeah, I agree. I wish they did explain his powers a bit more. But I
Just because it's cool. I think it makes sense that it doesn't because like Dane, we're not getting we're not from Dane's perspective, and also
Yeah.
like he has a super hush hush power, so like the details of it
Yeah.
wouldn't be well known.
yeah.
I just personally want to know.
and we've
Me
proven
too.
that Violet is the most unreliable person to describe anything
Yeah.
that's going
Unreliable
on.
Yeah.
narrator. All right,
Yeah,
chapter
overall, I think
33.
Yeah.
Chapter 33. What?
Yeah.
But
Jesus Christ, war games again.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forget what Dane was talking about before. This is when they're in the flight field before they take off for their war game, but I was just like, Dane really needs to shut up now before someone kills him. And I forget what he was saying specifically. I think this was before or during he was questioning Violet's decision to join Xaden. But I don't know. I guess it wasn't too memorable for me to quote. But I think I also
Yeah.
said that the chapter ending was a little too literal. I forget what I mean by that quote. So I would have to take a look at the page again. But I said, I thought Dane was gonna pull a yandere move and stab Violet or something. LOL. Because he
Okay,
was
I'll
giving those
read the
vibes.
final like I'll
Yeah,
read
let
what
me
you
leaf
said is
through.
literal. As he heads back to Sgale, I can't help but note both the important men are walking away from me right now in opposite directions, and given the one I've chosen to follow, my life is about to change forever.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
The goodbye.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit
nah,
literal.
Andarna, the goodbyes were super
Yeah,
sus.
that's
I
why I thought
Yeah.
he was like talking too much. I'm like, Dane, stop questioning her. Just like go mount your dragon. No one needs you right now. But now I know why.
Dane been a
He's trying
sus
to give her
boy
the
since
last
day
chance.
one. I'm telling you, Dane been sus
I
boy
mean,
all
Mhm.
this time.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but in his defense, if your best friend of
Yeah.
of childhood was about to make a horrible mistake, going aligning with himself with some traitor of the country, I would also try to like, be like, yo, you really sure you want to do this?
But I think he wasn't as
Yeah, like he
convincing
knows it's
anymore.
a
He was
setup.
done
You're
begging.
right. I get it. Like logically speaking, if you know nothing of going on between Xaden and Violet, and you only know essentially what your family and your country has told you, that this dude is evil, he's the son of the most evil man. I get it.
Yeah. And like you
But
don't know anything about Venom, you don't know anything about the wait, what was the name of the other like
The
uh
wyvern.
Vern?
Wyvern.
Yeah,
Wyvern,
Wyvern.
the wyverns, the non four-legged dragons.
Mhm.
Yeah, like if you've never heard those words before, then
Okay,
it kind
wait,
of makes
wait, but one thing against Stan is him being a bitch is the only reason why he doesn't know this. Violet, I feel like
Violet
kept
doesn't
trying
know
to
either though. Like
kept trying to
she's dumb.
explain to him, and like Dane is just every step of the way is just not capable of opening his mind to anything else aside from what Daddy
Yeah.
Navarre says. Like,
Yeah.
But
Well,
if you
that
think about it,
is
even
super
even
insensitive.
Violet had trouble, and
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
way more like
Open-minded.
what's the word? Informed, informed. Even like she knew about the fables. She had the letter from her dad that was like
Mhm.
saying, "Yo, there's
that's
such
true.
things going on." Like
And
she
I
had a bit of
highly
an
doubt
advantage.
that Dane has all this information. I don't think he knows about the Venom and the Wyvern. I think he just knows
Yeah,
that the marked ones are going to be set up for some reason. This
I mean,
thing,
he's
but
still a
I
little
don't think he
bit
knows
like
all the government stuff. I think he's just reporting
yeah.
back his information. I don't think he has
Yeah.
any
But how did
insight
they
You're right.
find
into
out then
You're
that they
right.
were
the goings on.
sneaking weapons to? I'm getting a little ahead, but how did I guess the person he reported this information to figure out like, oh, like these guys must be smuggling weapons at this outpost close like to the southern border, but like didn't they
Well,
need to
because
be clued in a little more?
they know the government knows about the Wyvern and the
Oh,
Venom and
true. Okay,
everything
yeah,
that's
you're right.
happening outside the borders. And so obviously if they're going to this outpost that's close to the
Yeah. And they also just have
parochial
they're
people.
obviously also like rebel people in their mind. There are like even if
Yeah.
they didn't 100% know, they can just assume. Like given all the
Yes.
other circumstantial evidence.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him that. I mean, I dislike his personality. I dislike how much of a stickler for the rules he is. But in this particular area, I'm like, all right, he was
You
trying to be
you
a good friend.
you think they knew he was essentially sending her to die? Like I knew he knew
Yeah,
that they.
I think he does know at that
Ah,
I
point.
think
Dane,
he does know. That's why
Dane, that
he's tried
fish.
so hard.
You're right. You're
And
right.
like at the end of the day,
He's like, "Oh, I'll miss
what
you,"
can you?
you know, which was weird to say,
Yeah,
assuming that she would come back from the mission alive. Like if you think
Yeah.
about it. So
Yeah, he says, "Don't go, Violet, please. He's going to get you killed." Like he knows that
Ah, yeah.
the
Okay,
marked
yeah,
ones are being
yeah.
set up to be taken out.
but they
But
did
hold on.
I don't
they
think he
did
knows
some reverse
how, but
psychology because they would like apparently would know that Xaden would assemble a team of all like rebellion marked ones.
Yeah,
So they kind of got into Xaden's head a little.
I will say on a less annoying note than Dane, Xaden made Andarna a baby Bjorn.
Oh yeah,
For
wait. So that was the
dad.
next chapter, which is fine because I had no other
So
note other than
cute.
the fact that Andarna has a baby carrier. This is so cute.
Yeah. Not the Bjorn.
Is that what it's
Funny.
called?
No,
I
that's what those like wraps that people wear for
yeah,
babies. You
for
ever seen them where
babies,
it's
yeah.
like a big long piece of fabric that
Yeah,
like holds a baby to you? It's a
Yeah,
baby
that's a
Bjorn.
baby Bjorn. So
I
I was
did
like,
not
oh,
know that.
it's like the dragon baby Bjorn.
Yeah. Good. What else?
Did anyone
Wait, that
else
was
have
the
chapter
next chapter?
34 stuff? Because I didn't. That was my only
yeah,
bullet point was about Andarna's baby carrier.
yeah.
I think it was
34 was
short.
Well,
really
they
cute.
34, they fly to the outpost. Or they're flying to the outpost and they make a stop. Things get a little,
Mhm.
a little hot and heavy. But then Xaden the bad boy, Griffin Riders.
bad boy.
So here's my question, right?
Yeah.
About so did all the dragons know about this?
Yeah, all their
Yes,
dragons knew.
yes. They all knew. They made it known that they all knew. That's what I'm saying. Like
So
the Navarre and the dragons are two separate entities. Even though they generally work together, like they're
so
not
why
all
are
on the same
the
page.
so
Even
are there some dragons that are like okay with the government line, and then there's some dragons that are not okay with the government line? Like what
I
are the
think
dragon
I
politics?
think that the thing is that one we don't know, but my assumption is the dragons don't really care what the humans are up to. They can lie to their people, they can do whatever as long as their goals it's aligning with them.
But it feels like the wards are falling apart. So the dragons are gonna get hit by these lies eventually. And they're not doing anything about it.
But I think the
I mean,
dragons, because they can read each other's minds, they assume that the lies to the people, well, they'll know all of them. I think is their mindset. Like the dragons view people as like nothing aside
no,
from
and
We're
like
ants. We are ants to them.
A tool.
I agree that, but I thought the whole point was that their bonds make the wards that protect the veil, and those wards are
Mhm.
falling apart because of the attacks from
yeah.
the wyverns and the venom. So
Or maybe
why
that's a
would
lie too,
dragons?
and they're not
Oh,
weakening
it could be
because
a
of
lie.
that.
That's true. It could be a lie.
Mhm.
But at least
Well,
that's what the
also
dragons believe.
the dragons
Also,
are safe inside of the ward, so it's probably not desirable for most dragons to like leave the ward to go and do this fight against the venom, right? Like most of them wouldn't want to get
But I thought
out
that the
of the
wards
safe zone.
were.
So these are just like the dragons that are like willing to risk their life to like do the actual protecting.
also,
'Cause I thought that the
Adarna,
wards were
I
like
see
not working.
I see your
Mhm.
message. I think it's 100%
Yeah.
that is that the humans just trust that the dragons would never choose someone who would betray them.
Also,
Because
I don't think
if the
it's
dragon chooses you, they're worthy.
I don't think it's a rule that the marked ones can't be in
Mhm.
authority because like technically they're proving that they are loyal, right? So it's a good
No,
thing
yeah, I
if
know, yeah.
someone
It's never a
rises up
rule,
in the
but it
ranks.
does feel weird, like just from
Mhm.
like a. If you didn't know the dragons have all the choice, it'd be like, why would you even let them here? But I think it's just that if a dragon chooses you, you must be at least somewhat trustworthy, because there's no way a dragon would choose someone who wasn't.
That's true. Everyone has
Yeah.
big faith in the dragons, though. The government
Yeah.
included.
No, but
I mean,
like
it's because everyone's terrified of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, as they should be.
as they should be. They're like super terrifying. I just don't get why the dragons are okay with the wards failing and just keeping up with the lie too.
I
We,
Because that's
we
like
need a
the
chapter
whole.
from Tarn's viewpoint now.
Yeah, because like
Yeah, the thing is that we don't know all of the Empyrean and dragon politics yet, so maybe there's a reason why they're okay with it. Maybe there's nothing they could, even if they weren't lying, there's nothing they could do, kind of thing. Or maybe they think
Yeah.
humans aren't even worthwhile telling, or like even keeping up with what they're doing, because no matter if they knew or didn't know, they couldn't help. So they're just trying to figure it
Yeah.
out on their own.
There
I
could
just wanna
also
know
be,
more
I
dragon
think,
politics.
a divide within the dragons of opinions of what should be done. Like trying to reinforce the wards from the inside versus the dragons who actually want to like fix the
Yeah.
source of the problem versus like protecting, some of them are just preparing for siege and warfare, and some of them want to go out. We don't know what the dragons are up to.
Yeah, I wanna like in the next book. I want to know more about what the dragons are up to. Because right now, basically, the drag like the humans of the military kind of doomed the dragons of the rebellion kids to die.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and Andarna has a good point. They said, I think the dragons that chose the more rebellious ones want to work with them. So it's true. Maybe like within
Yeah.
the dragon politics, the ones who are like in on it and know are like also trying to make their own kind of rebellion in order to aid the Griffin riders in that nation.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like if there's like a split even in like the dragon community.
Maybe that's why the
Um,
series is called
and
Empyrean.
they do make a point that like
Yeah,
Terran and
true.
Scale kind of, they do on their own thing. They don't really give a fuck about other dragons apparently.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
so it's highly possible that they just are like doing their own thing all this entire time.
Yeah, that'll be something for Iron Flame to answer. Or whatever book
Maybe.
follows. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Oh, did you hear? This is a really side tangent. Did you guys hear Amazon's making a fourth wing show?
I think you
No,
mentioned
really?
it,
No.
Lewis.
Oh wait, yes.
And that's why I said I hope it's good.
Wow. Yeah.
And I think this would be a book that really benefits from a TV show because I had a hard time imagining a lot of things. I already have a hard time to begin with, but this book I really struggled.
No,
So
even
help me
yeah.
out definitely.
I think even for me, I tend to have
Yeah.
an easier time, and I was very confused with like placements of things and just like geographic
Yeah.
stuff, and yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. Honestly, I kind of hope that it's like Twilight in that it's like really terrible, but in like a good, fun way.
Did anyone think it was
Like in a
fun
meme.
back then though? Like that, I thought it was only cringe bad looking back on
I-
it, but like in the moment, people were like, "Dang."
No, it was.
I did. I
It
just
was-
told
it
everyone
was
in middle
always
school
cringe,
that I
I
thought it
think.
was stupid.
Oh, we were
But
dead
I
bored
was
in middle
but I was
school.
going to the theater opening night for every Twilight movie.
Uh-huh.
It's giving me with High School Musical though. I told everyone I hated High School
Yo,
Musical, and
but,
then
but that was also me with High School
Dang,
Musical.
I
went to
loved
knew
High School
all the
Musical when it
dances.
came out.
I went to High School Musical on ice and had to tell everyone that my sister forced me to go.
Dang, closeted High School Musical fan.
I was a closeted everything fan. I liked everything that you were not supposed to like as a middle school boy. I don't give a shit. Or I did give a shit until high school.
I'm glad you finally come to terms with your
Yeah.
deep dark past.
I don't know, dude. If you watch TikTok, every adult man is like, "Why did we all lie? We didn't like Backstreet Boys and Sync when we all clearly
Yeah.
did."
That's
So
how it was.
I'm
Well,
happy.
like,
I'm happy.
it's great. Kids these days, I may be cringe, but I may be free. Like they now.
Yeah.
I think
Um,
don't have the same sense of cringe that we did, and that's great. I'm very happy for them.
The kids are all right.
Yeah, like my sister has a Goodreads account that like she tells everyone she has. Like, I would not have told anyone to have a Goodreads account, but like I'm happy
Our school made us make a
because
Goodreads
you're.
account for English class.
Okay,
Oh,
sure,
really?
but not what Sophie's reading.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I
no,
would
sure,
not put any
well,
like risque stuff on there. Not that I'd never read
yeah.
anything like that back then though anyway.
And she don't give a fuck. She'll even tell her teacher, "Hey, follow me on my Goodreads." Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's
it's a new world
crazy.
we're living
That's
in.
crazy. I mean that's the same as like when I went to like watch My Hero in movies and I saw a bunch of middle schoolers just not the not me middle school, just like regular middle schoolers. Just being like, yo, Deku and Bakugo are so cool. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Like when we allowed to
That's a,
voice these things.
that's
Wow.
a
But
new
but
We're
but, but
world.
living in
I'm
the
but I'm
future.
I'm happy that they could just say that
Yep.
out loud and not get made fun of.
Me too. Like it was only until I was like maybe 3 months away from graduating that I even told people I like read Naruto. And that's only
Closeted
because I knew I
Naruto
was leaving the
fan.
state.
They'll never find me.
You know?
They'll never find me in my Naruto fanfic.
we were in the closet with Itachi.
Yeah. Oh my god! But now even Bad Bunny's like referencing Itachi's songs, so it's a
That's
brave new
true.
world.
Brand new world.
All right, speaking
Okay,
of chapter 35.
Speaking of a brand new world.
Yeah, Violet just got
Yes.
into
Violet just entered one.
Yeah.
Yo, her world was spinning in this chapter.
I'm kind of glad she had that rage though, but we'll get to that. My first point was that I thought for a second Xaden purposely seduced Violet in that moment to hand her over, and I was gonna be like, "Yo, this like mother effer," but luckily he was just like there to like talk to the other faction, so that was good. Xaden didn't lose a point from me there.
Yeah, I was confused. I also thought I was like, are they really gonna make him an actual villain? I was so confused.
Oh, I didn't think that at all.
Yeah, I didn't
I
think
think
that. I
that he's
just
so clearly like it's so clear that the rebellion people are actually the good guys in this like story.
I
that
mean,
I was like, no.
I mean, yeah, I also agree to that, but it's more like did he turn her over? Even though like I think they're the good guys, like turn her over to the bad guys for Violet to respect them. I thought it was that for a
Yeah.
second until like you saw Xaden was very uncomfortable.
But also I think Violet called him like once she saw this going down, she called him a traitor to the country. But to me, it just seems like he and the country know of the same truth and like the same facts, but that he's just not necessarily into killing his own countrymen by inaction. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So Violet was like, I wrote Violet can be smart, but she's also very rash because I don't understand where that came from her. I was like, girl, she's not being a traitor. Like he's not killing the like Navarre's
patriotism,
countrymen.
bro.
He's just helping the enemy in a way, but helping the enemy in a way that also benefits you guys. So I don't know.
Yeah, man, patriotism can make you do crazy things.
Yeah, I guess so. That's the
Yeah.
theme.
And also,
But she never
like
struck
to
me as
her
overly
knowledge, like
patriotic.
Griffin Riders are like evil to her. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Or as Xaden likes to correct us, they're flyers.
the flyers.
We gotta get on that lingo now. The official lingo.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
right, the flyers in their drift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you catching my
Tokyo
drift?
Yeah. I understand why in this story, like, Violet would be very upset about this and, like, feel betrayed and stuff, but I just can't, like, it's just so fucking annoying to me. I just can't. Because I'm like, all this shit that was the clues leading up to this, and you're so mad about it, and then she's so upset at Xaden, and I was like, but the whole, like, I was like, this is bigger than you, Violet. He can't risk the whole thing.
Yeah. If anything,
On you.
be hurt.
Like, he didn't think he could trust you, and now you're proving that he couldn't trust you.
Oof.
Like, it was just, I understand what that's supposed to be, like, why her character would be that way, but it just makes me, like, me, Ren, the reader, so mad, and I fucking hate it. Like, I hate characters that are like this.
I agree.
Yeah, I also.
She was acting like a real Dane in that moment. Like,
Oh
not
my
gonna
God.
lie.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Like, I
Uh,
understand, like, the beef I would feel hurt too that I wasn't in on the plan to begin with, but I would be hurt at not just Xaden, like, my dragons too, they knew and they didn't tell me,
she
like,
was
I'm
extremely
the
angry at them though.
yeah,
I wrote LOL, she flipped
Yeah,
Tarn
she
yeah,
off,
was.
so
yeah. So, I mean, I would be hurt, but I wouldn't just call them all, like, traitors, like, that's,
She wasn't thinking
uh
straight. She wasn't thinking straight.
yeah.
Yeah, she was overcome by the rage. But I also like just because like me personally as a person, like I don't really have like strong emotional reactions like this. So
yeah.
when I read characters that like are overcome by their emotions and like can't like listen to
Process, yeah.
logic, it really just like bothers. I just like I can't deal with it personally. I'm like you're fucking
It's
annoying, but like I understand that that's how a lot of
Yeah.
other people are.
And
I
her
feel
world was spinning out of control in this moment. I don't think she even knew what was going on anymore.
but I feel like she's so
Yeah.
much more passive throughout the whole book about things that happen to her. Like
Like her
she like
breaking bones and getting hurt
mm,
all the damn time.
breaking bones, Jack, like she even felt bad about killing Jack, you know,
Yo,
like
I
and
did
that's
not like that
fine,
she felt bad, but I guess it was to show she has some
but
kind of humanity.
Her
but like
humanity.
she feels bad about that, but then she's like raging and calling everybody a traitor when they were, you
But
know,
it's remember,
I
it's also because she's like madly in love with this dude, and she feels like this is the biggest betrayal ever,
Yeah, true.
which is stupid. Which is stupid.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's like all those emotions, like patriotism, betrayal, like all those emotions mixed together, just made her go crazy.
But I never
Okay, but
thought her she was overly patriotic. Like I know Dane is, like Dane is a fucking tool,
Hey,
but at least in the book,
I think she was until like like it's for a while. She kind of was not as bad as Dane, not as bad as Dane, but she kind of was.
I like don't think that it's so much patriotism as it is like that's just her worldview. Like I
Yeah,
don't think
no,
she's
yeah,
yeah.
necessarily like patriotic. I think she just like thinks that that is the truth. You know, it's like that's
yeah.
just how it is for her, which I understand. But the whole like how she's so pissed at Xaden for the whole rest of this book makes me so mad because like he literally never like she was like I love you and like I don't care that you don't want to say it but I'm going to tell you that that's how I feel. Then she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I told him I was so in love with him. And then he broke my trust. I was like, he
I,
literally
I,
never promised that to you. Like, you knew
I
where he
agree.
stood the whole time. That's
I,
made me so
Yeah,
mad the rest of the book.
the rest of the book pissed me off with how she was treating
yeah.
Xaden. Not gonna lie, I
Yeah,
agree.
I
I agree with
know.
that. That 100% was fucking bullshit. Especially
Yeah.
the
Like,
end. Like, oh,
you had,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
annoying. That was annoying because, like, in the beginning, I was like, "Come on, Xaden, don't tell her like, yo, don't fall in love with me." But that's just being an edgelord. That's fine. But her, like, she just goes from being in love with him to like, in a second, like, you're a fucking traitor. You'll never get my trust ever again. Blah blah blah. But she never even once tries to step in his shoes and be like, "So why did he lie to me?" I
He
mean,
didn't
then
even
again,
lie,
there's not much
technically.
time to reflect.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even lie. There's not much time for reflection considering they were all in like grave danger. I wouldn't also reflect at that time. But he was like he has he saw her she saw his scars. He's responsible for so many people. Of course he's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna like put all that all those lives in jeopardy for a person he just met 6 months ago.
word.
Yeah.
And
Yo, he tore his scars open. He shut himself.
Oh my
Filled
god.
himself shut.
Shut himself shut.
His weakness is that he cares too much.
I
He
mean,
cares
yeah.
too
And the
much,
scars
bro.
remind him that the past is real.
This is
It's
real.
real.
He tears his
So
heart
true.
open just to
We gotta sing
feel,
that at
bro.
karaoke next time in honor of this
Uh,
book. Or Xaden
our
specifically.
heavenly father, Papa Roach.
Yeah.
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my gripe with Violet. I mean, I've had many gripes with her, but this was my biggest gripe with her.
Yeah, I think she's just way too rash and emotionally charged, but
Yeah, but also Dane is a big ass B word,
Yeah, but
hands
he's
down.
consistent. But he's consistently a B
No,
word.
because in my head I was like,
True.
oh, maybe he'll redeem himself later. No redemption.
yeah.
No redemption allowed.
Or it's like, thank you,
Well,
Rebecca Yarros. Like, we hate him now. You know, you've killed his character metaphorically, his
Because a part
personality. I
of
mean,
me,
too
like,
much.
as much as I
yeah.
hate him, I was like, I can't blame him at the same time. But like this is just too much, bro. He sent her to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like everything is like maybe that's just why like it's like everything is too like black and white for him in a way that it's like not realistic for like a person. He doesn't feel like a real
Yeah.
person. Maybe that's why I don't like his characterization that much. Like he's not like developed as a person. It's just like this is him and he will never waver. I'm like, okay, like I get it. He's like
The
I don't
bootlicker.
know, he's not the villain, but he's like I don't know what
I mean, he's
type of character this is called, like an anti.
he could be
He's
just
like an antagonist,
Minor
kind of.
minor
but-
antagonist.
I think he's like the
Minor
definition of
antagonist.
just straight brainwashed like military dude. Like
Yeah,
just like will follow orders to the T, and because he thinks that's the
what a
only way.
bootlicker is.
He's a bootlicker, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
I will
the
say
fucking turncoat.
for this generation, he's like the biggest villain. Is someone who just never questions.
Yeah,
Agreed.
But yeah,
Yeah.
once we
Also-
found out once he found out that he wouldn't bend the rules for like Violet, which he like apparently loves and cares about a lot at that point in time, I was like, dang, okay, this guy wouldn't do anything for anyone if it was against the rules.
yeah, for real.
He's not a true lover boy.
No,
Yeah.
he only wants the rules. He's in love with the rules.
He's a rule sexual, bro.
Yeah, that's why
He's a real
Codex
sex-
sexual.
There's this one attraction.
Anything
Yeah.
else for chapter 35?
He's lawful good, like for real.
Oh yeah, that's what he is. He's lawful good for real.
He's lawful good for real.
He'd be a paladin, bro.
And he would never break his
Yeah.
oath.
He
Mm-mm.
never break his oath. Yeah. No wonder people hate paladins.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you could be a paladin.
Paladins
Yeah.
are kind of cool.
I knew it was gonna get you.
Hey, paladins are kind of cool. Depends on who they swear their oath to.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I mean, he swore his oath to his government, and he's
Mhm.
keeping it.
Yeah, that's the worst kind of paladin. We don't fuck with those kinds of paladins.
Fuck about. Yeah, but I think that's also kind of what like pissed me off so much about Violet in these chapters is that she's so black and white about it, right? Like there's no room for like the intricacies that exist with all of this like stuff that's going on. She's so like, oh, either like he lied to me, therefore he betrayed me. The end
Yeah.
of the story. I was like, oh, this bitch is so annoying.
And she's not even that young. Like, she's what, 19, 20?
Yeah, she's
21.
20.
20 or 21?
21?
She was
Okay,
20 when the
never
book
mind.
started. I don't know when her birthday
He's
is.
23, so she's 20 or 21, yeah.
Was I that dumb?
Okay.
I mean, I don't think I was this dumb at 21, but I'm sure there are.
I'm sure there are. Yeah, you never know. She
But it's
literally
like, I
falls
feel
in
like-
more dumb.
I don't know. I feel like she hasn't been this black and white about everything up to now.
I
It
agree.
just feels a little bit
Yeah.
like out of character to me.
She's the one that literally in the first chapter gave a boot to Rhiannon to help her out, even though like
Yeah.
She's been like bending
Yeah.
rules and stuff, and like
yeah.
Yeah,
She's
I
the
don't
one
know.
that like for the games, she like bent the rule and used like and was like, yeah, the codex doesn't actually say that you can't bring weapons. It just has to be on your body. No, like this is her.
Yeah,
like,
no,
she's
yeah. She's always been willing to kind of like be flexible with the
Yeah, or
rules.
poison her enemies
Like,
and like
except for with
Yeah.
Xaden, I guess.
So I wonder
Yeah,
why. I only can assume that it's because she loved Xaden so much and felt this was such a betrayal of that love that she assumed he had for her, that like it just this was just like her outlet to say like why she was hurt was like he's a traitor. But it's
but
more
she
like
wasn't this mean to her dragons though.
yeah, but that's
Well, I mean, you can't.
you can't be mean to your you can't be mean to your dragons,
No.
bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's family, bro. That's family.
Familia.
Yo, that's that's familia, bro.
Nakama.
That's Nakama, bro. Xaden ain't familia yet. Xaden
Yeah,
ain't
he's not
familiar yet.
familiar. You're right.
He was
He's trying
barely
to be,
Nakama, too.
Yeah, he's barely Nakama. You're right.
Yeah, he was just inching into Nakama territory.
But yeah, no, her characterization in this chapter, I was like, I was very disappointed
You know,
in
I was
her.
I was annoyed. I was annoyed until the end. I
Yeah.
think at her, I was kind of annoyed.
I
Yeah.
mean, I was basically known to her to like the last chapter.
Yeah, because she was
Yeah,
still
pretty
holding
much.
a
Last
grudge.
page.
Whole way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see something else for chapter 30. Wait, here's my question. The government sent them to Abernathy?
I don't remember how to pronounce
Is that
it,
the
but
name?
you sure? Yeah.
I have to read
Yes.
it. I don't remember.
I kept saying
And then
absinthe
they
in my head.
Same.
Yeah,
That's
it
what I
does look
was
like that.
That's what I was reading to. And then
Acidine.
they're immediately attacked by the venom and the wyverns. So does the government already know their attack patterns?
No, the Wyvern and Renan were attacking the adjacent town, and they got sent to that outpost because it had a view of that town, so they knew that the rebellion, the marked ones, would help the village under attack. But
Mm-hmm.
that's why, okay, start like trudging into 36. My first point of 36 was, to be honest, if I were in the situation, I do not think my sense of justice is that strong to save a village of people over possibly getting myself, Xaden, and all other rebellion marked people executed. And then I said, this is why I consider myself true neutral or chaotic neutral, lol. So speaking of alignments, that's where I would be.
Let me see. I
Yeah,
don't know
I
what
mean,
I
it's
would do
certainly a
actually.
commitment.
But yeah, they definitely knew the marked ones
Wait,
would help out because they have such a strong sense of justice, apparently.
Yeah. Well, and like their whole rebellion was because of this situation, right? Like
yeah.
helping the people outside of their borders.
Mm-hmm.
So by presenting the marked like children with basically the same choice that their parents made, it's like a test of their like loyalty, right? So it's like either you can continue on this cause that your like parents died for, or you can come back and do the war games and like be regular with the rest of us.
I wonder if there's any marked ones, like marked children, that don't care to like continue this cause though. Like some of them may be like, oh yeah, nah, I don't really care for helping like the Grimmins and killing the Wyvern and all that stuff.
Like a traitor of the
Yeah,
traitors
yeah. And
kind
Donna
of
says I would definitely
situation.
gotten the fuck out of there. Yeah, exactly. I would have been like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to risk everything, you guys. You know, maybe we should all go back to the war games and just, you know, maybe next time we'll, because like it's not like they have to leave the rebellion or leave their cause completely. It's just that in this one isolated event, they could just have gone back and like unfortunately left that village to die. But like, you know, you lose the battle, you win the war kind of thing. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think didn't she see children? Like in the
Yeah.
village.
Isla
I think
did.
that's what would have. I think that's would have gotten me.
Yeah.
I would have. I think I would have. Even though I would have died, I think I would have like cried. I think.
Look,
I
every
don't know.
village has children.
Wait,
true.
guys, but I think I'm the main character, so there's no way I'm dying.
Yeah, I have
That
my
is
plot
true.
armor too
That
I
thick.
is
believe
true.
in that plot armor.
There's no way I'm dying if I'm the main character, and I believe that
Yeah.
100%. Everyone else
I
side
mean,
character.
That's why we know Violet and Xaden. Well, maybe not Xaden. Actually, you don't know. Maybe they'll go for a tragic romance route for this book. She's safe until the last book, at least.
Yeah.
And we have
Oh,
potentially
but then
5.
it's
Yeah.
like a Romeo Juliet situation because they both will die
Yeah.
if either of them die.
Then all bets are off at the last book, but at least
Yeah.
until the last book, yeah, plot armor will keep them alive.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't Game of Thrones
Mm-hmm.
or Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not.
Mhm.
It's I feel like the school is like Attack on Titan, where like students are just getting killed left and right. But at the same time,
Yeah.
like at least they didn't kill off any major characters until this chapter, which we will get to. But
Until this chapter.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah. Although it
yeah.
is one more thing on this point, like it is a really like intense decision that Xaden is making because he's basically like running this whole effort for this
Yeah,
like maintaining the rebellion like vibe within the school, So like him going into this battle and possibly getting himself killed, like kind of fucks up the whole rebellion. I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
clearly,
he's the
like
leader, right?
as we find out at the end, there are other people involved in the general effort. But like, I imagine that Xaden is really leading this at least within the school, and his like other top like people are there as well. So he is really like taking a risk in this.
Well, it's a risk he's willing to take, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's
All right,
see.
and then
I mean, there was a very like detailed, action-filled chapter, so I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I was trying
Finally,
to
oh
picture
my
the
god, a
vending.
battle.
Yeah. I will say before the battle, Taryn spit the coldest bar. We go to war to feast on their bones. That shit.
Yeah.
I
That
feel like
was
he's
the
a very
coldest
carnal
shit
guy.
ever.
Like he probably doesn't
Yeah,
care
that's
which way the battle
thick
goes.
as
Well,
hell.
maybe he cares for this effort, but he's just like, oh, I'm here to like fuck some shit up, you know?
Yeah, Taryn's my
Yeah,
favorite
I'm
character.
here to feast on these bones.
This solidified again that I just love him as my favorite character.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's just a
Mhm.
grumpy old man who's just ready to throw hands at any
Yeah.
moment.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Mhm. Yeah, but yeah, finally some like actual action. I was really like drawn into this chapter.
Mhm.
Finally.
Me too, and I was like, that's all it takes. You just have to describe a little bit more about what's going on for me to be immersed in the story.
Battle.
In
Also
the
a
battle.
battle. Yeah.
Also
Mhm.
battle, yeah. But
also revealing that Violet's once in a century power is like the only thing that can kill dragons, apparently.
Yeah. Okay.
of course, she's the main character,
Yeah.
didn't you? Yeah, of course.
But wait,
she
how did
killed
they figure that
dragons.
out though? Because at first it was just
No,
the daggers.
Taryn said that like the only like her power can like a lightning bolt can stop the heart of a dragon. So that's why
So like lightning is like
Mhm.
they're weak to lightning, like as an element specifically. Because I was like, what if you got
Yeah.
blasted with a huge fireball? Well, not dragons, but like the other ones.
which
I don't know.
makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, because
like
birds are weak to
electricity,
lightning. Flying is weak, flying types are weak to
like,
lightning.
exactly. but like electricity in general, like no matter like how big or strong you are, will stop your heart. So it
Yeah.
makes sense
What if someone had like a
logically, but
Bakugo-like
it does-
power where you could just make explosions? Like, would that do the same thing? Or
explosions in
dragons
your
are immune to
bloodstream to start
fire.
up your heart.
what
I
about
feel
like
ice
a
can also stop
like
your heart.
an expansion of gas explosion, not necessarily a fireball?
Yeah.
I think the only thing if lightning can logically do that, shouldn't ice
All the
theoretically
elements.
be able
Yeah,
to
that's
do
what I was
that too?
thinking.
No,
If you-
because like
if you,
fire, I get why, like no matter how hot it'll get because they're dragons,
they're
they
immune
have
to fire,
immune.
yeah.
But like, wouldn't ice also theoretically
was
be just as
thinking.
bad? Like,
I mean, I feel like
California
ice
would
would. I think ice would hurt a dragon. Like I don't think it. Nothing else hurts them. It's just that like lightning is a very like immediate effect. Like if you
Like
aim it
heart
properly,
attack.
if you get hit by lightning, your heart will stop. You would like need a great amount of ice. I feel like to like
Damn.
mortally injure a dragon.
So Violet really out here stopping hearts.
Yeah. And also, at the beginning of the next chapter, the quote is, but it was the third brother who commanded the sky to surrender its greatest power, who finally vanquished his jealous sibling at a great and terrible price. From the folklore. So it's also in the folklore that lightning
The lightning is their
wins
weakness.
the battle. So it is plot armor also, but it can be sort of
it's plot armor,
understood.
but it is logical plot
It
armor.
does
It's
make
not
sense.
just completely bullshit plot armor.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. The lightning bolt would be really cool if she could hit anything with it.
LOL.
At least you can't give her all the power all at once. Like
Yeah.
Well, she did get an
I
OP
like that
move
it
at
was
the
more
end.
realistic.
I wrote that she got chain lightning.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! So she got that going.
Yeah.
lightning.
But that was after our bestest boy Liam
my boy Liam
died in
fucking
action.
Go.
Pour one out.
Liam,
Pour one out.
Go.
That was so sad.
Yo, I will say them describing before the sad moment, him like sliding off the tail, slicing someone's throat. Yo, that shit was so cool.
The only note I wrote for this chapter was Give me back Liam.
Yeah.
Yarros,
Yeah, App's in
you
the chat.
fucking coward.
I'm
Yeah.
feeling that.
I just wrote Liam. Fuck no.
Yo, she took a good boy away, but gave us another good boy at the end. Well,
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be a good boy.
Dude, I can't believe they made me care about him so much.
I know who's gonna make little wooden figurines of animals.
I know. See, I said I knew they would kill off such a best boy. Like they were really leading up
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
you know,
I
upping his
realize they
character.
really do just be killing off the people who are just like wholesome. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
even in the
Violet,
beginning,
hey.
I should have known in the beginning. They killed the dude who's trying to find his wife at the end. Like
Immediately.
I should have known. I should have fucking known.
Dang.
No.
Yaros got me. She got me, bro.
I knew when they started the battle and they described who all was there. I was like, she's gonna kill Liam in this
Oof.
thing. Like he's gonna save Violet and she's gonna kill him. But I was still mad about it.
Yep. Anything else for 36?
Just a moment of silence.
Yeah. I didn't have anything for 37. I don't
Poor
even
boy.
remember. I think I was too distraught to take notes. I honestly
For
don't.
37, the only note I had was, how come it took y'all so long to realize killing a venom would kill the wyverns?
Oh,
They already knew that.
That's what I'm saying. It made no
Yeah.
sense that it took them like so long to figure out the strategy to beating them. Like it made no sense to me.
Okay, but I thought that they already knew that. And
Me
just,
too.
Oh my
And just that Violet was like, oh, like I can't do that right now. So she was just like killing off the wyvern, like
Oh wait,
to
yeah,
sort of
they've been fighting them for a
provide
while, right?
defense.
But apparently no
and
one
then
knew.
when Liam told her and she's like, oh, we have to kill the thing. I was like, bitch, what the fuck?
No, it's not even just that. It's also wait. So you're telling me they've been fighting them for who knows how long? Were they all just dying then?
Yeah, and Andarna has
I-
the same thoughts as
Andarna,
us.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought she knew the whole time and she just like couldn't do it. So she
Okay,
was just doing defensive stuff.
Maybe we're too smart.
Flyers
We're too
would've-
smart for their universe.
She
But the Griffin
literally,
Flyers just know by
explained-
now, right?
Well, and Violet like explains the folklore that it's like, oh, the wyvern are created by the venom.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
she obviously knew. I was like, what the fuck?
For someone that they describe as
yeah,
the
they
smartest
explain it
person
before Liam tells
ever,
us.
the most clever ever, how the fuck did you not realize this immediately?
Yeah, and Andarna,
Oh,
we're all
no,
wondering the
it's-
same thing.
It's I went more for the wait, they've been fighting them for a while now. The Griffin Flyers for who knows how many, like, because they've been in a war with their country for like centuries
centuries.
now, right? So like you're telling
400
me in
years.
all these 400 years, they've never realized how to kill.
I will say
Wyverns or venom?
they do mention that venom are nearly impossible to kill. Like
So they didn't have an idea of how to kill them. Oh no, are you just saying they
Like-
didn't know
like-
that
like-
the
You have to kill them
wyvern
with those
died?
blades.
like one venom takes like 3 drifts or whatever just to kill.
Mhm.
Like that's how
That means it'd
impossible.
be you,
Yeah.
because they would have seen when a venom dies, but the wyverns they create die.
But maybe they would kill the wyvern first because they think it would like help make it easier to kill the venom. We don't know exactly. I
Well,
still think it's stupid as fuck. But like
We also don't know that the Griffin Flyers don't know that. Like I think the Griffin people
Mm.
probably do know that.
But they don't have powers, do they?
Like it's
Like dragon.
No, they
But they're
do.
not-
But a griffin, like magic
It's
with
not as
like
strong.
their rider flyers are not as strong.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Which
and,
like,
like, they
which I'm kind of like, there has to be some kind of benefit to being a griffin flyer. Like, what is the
Yeah.
benefit?
I'm like, oh, it just sucks. Okay.
They're just like
They're
they're
just
just like they're the
inferior in
beta
all
dragon.
ways.
They're the beta riders. Is that
Yeah.
all it is? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I also thought they would
Chad-
have some like
dragon.
cool thing, but
yeah, but then they
And,
were
like-
just like, yeah, no, they got murked. Like that's like all it felt like.
yeah. Well, because
No,
they know
my
that
head-
you have to kill them with that like special blade is the only thing that kills them. I just think that the Griffin
Yeah.
Riders aren't like strong enough to get in close range very easily to get that done. I think it's
Because
just hard to get to them.
Because yeah, I guess also like griffins, they don't have like the fire resistance that dragons have, and like all that stuff.
I
I just
get that it's hard
I
to
just
kill
hope
them. It's
that
like,
later on there's some kind of advantage in some
Yeah,
The
minor
redemption for the
way.
Griffins.
Yeah,
There
well,
can't-
hopefully we
it
learn more
can't
about them
be
in
that
general.
it can't be that they're just shittier riders. I really hope it's not that.
Yeah.
Well, they're smaller, so they're able to probably like attack. Maybe they reproduce more. Maybe there's more griffins to like
Flyers?
Actually, maybe.
dragons.
You're right,
Yeah.
numbers instead, like quantity over
Yeah.
quality kind of thing. But
Yeah,
Or
that's
maybe
not what
like
it, that's not what it feels like.
yeah, no, it's not.
you're
But
right.
maybe like a stealth advantage as well, I would imagine. But yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
No, but
we'll find out one day.
going back to y'all's point, I still was but like, wait, so you guys didn't know that killing the
Venom.
venom was gonna kill the like
Yeah.
it took like dying it took Liam dying?
Yeah.
We could have
Not gonna
prevented
lie.
his death the whole time.
I was like, she died for this, for information you
Yeah.
already knew.
Him dying and being like, "You have to go for the venom." I'm like, y'all didn't know? Like,
No.
it made me so mad.
Like the Flyers never told the rebellion kids, yo, go for the venom. It's hard for us, but you guys could do it. Like the Flyers never told this information to the rebellion kids in the years they've been working together.
Yeah, because in my head, like, also just like from a military standpoint, it's like if you can go for like the commander, which they obviously can tell is the venom, why would you not go for the commander?
Wait,
Like, it
well,
makes
so
no
for the
sense.
venom, is the only thing that kills them the special dagger and lightning as well? Like them and the wyvern
To
are
what
immune to
we
the same
know,
things?
yes. To what we know, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Special lightning.
So they knew.
Well,
they probably have
wyvern can be
seen
killed by
before.
other shit.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so they've killed venom before, and they definitely have seen the effects of killing venom. So they definitely would have seen wyverns dying when venom are killed, and could have made the connection.
Wyverns die when venom are
Yeah.
killed.
In the 400 years they've been fighting.
Yeah, 400
Oh,
fucking years. Jesus.
wait, what was it? A venom without his wyvern
It's
is
fucking fine.
It's sad.
It's fine.
Wyvern without
a
a
wyvern
venom
has venom is dead.
on the ground dead. Yeah.
But yeah,
That was
no,
fucking
that
so annoying. And also, like,
that was
fuck
like-
you, Yarros, for sacrificing Liam for that piece of information we already knew. You fucking asshole. Like, give us something good for his death.
Yeah.
God damn
Give us
it.
a better
Yeah,
boy. Give us a bestest boy.
Yeah.
He was like one of the few people I actually liked. Wait,
The Griffin Riders
Andarna
have crossed
saying
the river before.
that's actually a good point. We don't know if
Mhm.
the Griffin Riders have ever actually fought Wyvern or if they've only fought Venom. I would assume they probably all did fight Wyvern, but
One would
technically-
assume in 400 years, but we don't know.
but we don't know.
I mean, didn't wyverns attack Mira's outpost?
Yeah, because that's when
She
she
thought they
saw
were
dragons
but
flying.
She didn't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they definitely have been fighting them before.
But maybe they haven't seen a venom before?
But how would
the
they know
Griffins
the-
have
Oh, the
the
Griffin,
Griffins
the
have fought
Griffin
Venom.
Riders.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
yeah, like how-
Maybe it was like they would only send normally Wyvern to the outposts where Dragon Riders were because they need them there. But with the Griffins, they're just like they're such bitches. We can just like take them on our own
Yeah.
Well, it's
because that's
did
low
we,
key
I
what
would
it feels
imagine.
like.
did we find out
They
what they
done
were
that.
going for in this town? Because remember they were after something in the clock tower, and then eventually like
Yeah,
the marked guys
we don't know
recovered
exactly
it.
what it is, but there was like some kind of magical object or something like that, like a
Yeah.
yeah, I think
They have it now.
Yeah.
Our team has it now, but they haven't like
Revealed it.
opened it yet. It was an iron box with runes on it.
Mm. Maybe we'll find out more about Venom then, or
Yeah.
why they
Yeah,
Venom were
in the
after it.
next book.
Chapter 38, I
Yes.
didn't have anything. I just said this chapter was only 4 pages. Okay, I don't even remember what this chapter was about.
yeah, it's just
oh
her
wait,
being-
38. Yeah, I had nothing because it like
She got
was, like, kind
poisoned,
of just
right?
like a poison recover. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just Violet going in and out of consciousness.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's just.
But
I
then-
keep
And she
wanting
can't
for
talk
some
to the
reason.
dragons anymore.
I keep thinking back
But-
to Twilight because I think that's the last like semi-romantic, slightly adult, more young adult fiction that I've read. Either that or I'm just
Uh-huh.
reading like 18th century or like 19th century like English classics. But That's like the in Twilight where like you flip the page and it's just like months because she has like depression and like doesn't do anything for like
Oh
months.
yeah.
I
That was
fucking
really cool
hated
though.
New
Yeah.
I
Moon.
will
I
say I really
hated
like
that
that in
book. It was
Twilight.
so fucking
I hated
boring.
New Moon. It was
Yeah,
terrible. Wait,
New
I
Moon
gotta
was the
say that
worst
real
one.
quick. I'll be back.
so boring. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. I was like, oh, it's October. Now it's November. She's still staring at the window, being sad.
I don't even remember what caused that in that book. Was it just because he went away or like
Because Edward went away.
yeah, dang.
Yeah.
Well, listen, at
She's
least
still
Violet
emo.
has more agency than Bella, so we got that going.
Yeah. I guess, but like every time I think about Bella, I think about Kristen Stewart, and that makes me happy because I love her.
Yeah, Kristen Stewart as a person is just great. So
Yeah.
I
she's
will say,
funny.
as much as I hated New Moon the book, I like New Moon the movie because that's when all the werewolves come about
True.
and they're cool.
You do finally get to see the werewolves. That's
And
nice.
you know, wait, was New Moon Loca? Where you been, Loca? Is that
Yeah, I think so. Because she's been so emo. I like the part where she tries to kill herself by jumping off a
Jumping off a
cliff.
cliff.
Oh yeah, it's like jumping off like
But into
this
water.
mountain
And then she
creek
almost
height
drowned.
cliff.
Yeah, she's doing cliff diving, but she almost drowned.
But that's how Edward comes back to her, right?
Yeah,
Because he like
because
saves her from
she's
the
gonna
water.
fucking die.
Yeah. Yeah, and Donna's like, where the hell have you
Oh,
been,
Yeah.
Loca?
Andarna, you know what's up? Where the hell you been, Loca?
This is like digging up like 10 plus years of memories. I read this in like middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I read Twilight because I had a crush on a girl in middle school, and then I stopped talking to her, but I continued reading the books because I really like them.
That's hilarious because I read Twilight because I had a crush on a boy in middle school who talked about the books one time, and I was like, okay, I'll read that.
I feel like that's been my entire life is I do something because I have a crush on someone and they like it, and then I wind up doing it way more than they do, and now it's like unbalanced.
Wait, Andrea said she was
I
coming
have a
back,
very
right?
yeah.
Oh, okay, so we'll wait
Yeah,
for her to get back before we start the last chapter.
because the last one is the most
Yeah.
important one.
Well, okay. Other than us being sad for Liam and I guess the poison doing some stuff. What else could we talk about? Or I guess we could maybe go on to the last chapter and then she'll join in and then we could talk about the overall book stuff at the end. Unless y'all have more to say about before we get to the last chapter.
No, the last chapter is the biggest one because my
No, I'll
first
just be
point.
more fucking complaining about what Yarros is doing to the plot of this.
Hopefully
be
good
mad.
things. I don't know though.
I need to read the rest of the. I need to read Iron Flame already because I'm mad. I'm still mad at how it ended.
Yeah.
No, but we're gonna wait
Yeah.
until like April, right?
Huh?
Oh. I guess well, okay, well I thought we
Well-
were gonna take a hiatus because of the wedding and then
We'll only have what, one more weekend before the wedding?
yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good.
Well,
I
we
mean,
have
I'll
two
start.
more, but I don't know.
I mean, we could just like like.
Read the whole thing.
We do have
Okay.
two more, I guess, but
Lewis, you and I
And
have
that
to
one's
play Final
longer.
Fantasy. I think we have our evenings covered. I need to
I
start
think I
that game.
can't play Final Fantasy while reading this book at the same time.
Yeah. No, play the audiobook of Iron Flame while playing Final Fantasy.
No, I can read and play the
Uh.
game at the same time.
On a real note, I can't listen to an audiobook.
No, I'm not an audiobook
it's so
person
hard.
either. I think
It's
I
really
already read
difficult
pretty
for me.
fast, so I can read faster than an audiobook could give me the book.
I can't do audiobooks, but I did listen to the dramatized like immersive audiobook of like an Akatar book recently.
Do they have
'cause I
voice
got
actors for
recommended
each character though?
It's like
Was there, like,
voice
music and
actors I've
stuff?
ever get music, sound
Oh,
effects.
That's cool.
That I could do, but a regular audiobook I tried once could not do it. I don't want you to just read it to me. I read better.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Exactly.
just really hard because if I'm listening to something, if I think about anything else, I don't listen to the thing, and then I just have to rewind. So I'm just rewinding all the time.
Mhm.
Like I can't listen and like have my own thoughts at the same time. So I just miss a bunch of stuff, and it's really annoying. For our friends in the chat listening to this stream, Andrea's getting married later this month. That's the wedding we're talking about, and why we can't maybe start Iron Flame immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I'm gonna start it.
But
I
Lewis,
can't
you
wait
can't,
for
because then
this one.
you'll have to reclude yourself from book discussions because you'll know too much.
I mean, we'll have to we'll just ask Andrea because we do have 2 weeks in which we could.
Yeah, I mean, I'll read up to
so
it.
we'll see.
I won't read the entire book. I'm not crazy, but I need to know.
True. Yeah, wait, I'm looking at the calendar again. So we have 2 more Sundays.
We have 2 weeks. Yeah.
And that'll be,
I just
I
don't
guess,
know how
like,
busy they're gonna be, but
that'll be like a third of the book. Yeah. I'm also
Bro,
working.
I'm
next
gonna
2
be
Sundays.
reading in the hotel.
Yeah. Well, because
I got my own king size bed at this hotel. I'm gonna be reading Iron Flame in the hotel room.
I'm gonna have to
on the plane, me and Lewis side by side reading Iron Flame.
The 31st, though, I'm not available either because that's when I'm driving back from the wedding. So we'll have to take the 24th and 31st off. And also, actually, the weekend after that is my birthday weekend, and I could probably do it from like wherever I am in an Airbnb as long as there's Wi-Fi. But it depends if I will be even like in a house on Sunday evening or afternoon.
Yeah, true.
So if you want, we can do the next 2 and then have like a 3-week hiatus for book club. What do you guys think? Or just have a hiatus until
gets back.
Okay, yeah. We'll take
do
a
you
vote.
guys do you all already have Iron Flame? Like, am I the only one who has Iron Flame already?
I'm just gonna get the ebook, so I'll have it whenever I need to get it.
Yeah, the digital people do. I don't, but I have a Barnes and Noble coupon, so I can get it anytime.
Nice.
I was gonna get it this week anyways.
Oh, and Andarna, we don't have a Discord chat, but if you, I don't know, we don't have like a group chat. We all just like in like a DM basically, or we don't have a server, I should say.
Yeah.
I will say I did get accidentally because I'm so hardcore into like book talk. I've been spoiled by so many random things in Iron Flame, and I'm so mad.
Wait, you've been spoiled stuff already?
Dangerous, man.
Dang.
Yeah, because I'm on book talk.
Damn.
And no
I don't
one
have
has
TikTok,
any filters there.
Yeah, people got to be doing their spoiler warnings at the beginning of
but it's okay
videos.
because it's like spoilers of things that like I would never have expected, but it's not specific enough for me to care enough. I don't want to. I can't say any more than that because it'll be a full spoiler.
Damn, Andarna got spoiled on one thing on the next book.
Okay, well, but to be fair, I like spoilers. I love being spoiled, so I'm not that bad.
You do.
And thank you for the compliment. Andarna says they like listening to us.
Wow.
Which is great because I only decided to stream book club on a whim because I was like, all right, we're talking for a book for an hour. Might as well do something. I feel like it's the majority of my streaming on Twitch now anyway, just because whenever I play games, I don't feel like motivated enough to set up my stream, so I'm just playing games by myself. But I will be streaming Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, maybe Tuesday.
Hell yeah. Ooh.
But yeah, side note, Lewis, I watched the first cutscene of Rebirth, and were you as confused as I was? But don't spoil anything.
I was so confused at what was going on.
Yeah, I was just like, what? Did I click the right game? Did I skip chapters?
No, me too. And then I also saw like a mild thing that like almost was gonna be a spoiler, and I was like, I can't read this. And I was just like, I was like, what is going on with this game?
Honestly, the only reason why I want to rush to play it is because I know I'm gonna get spoiled via Twitter or some other social media, so I gotta unspoil myself before then.
Andarna, I feel that I have read more books in the past 4 months than I have in the past 10 years.
Yeah, we started this book club because Lewis started reading. So
yeah,
I became literate, and we all started reading.
Yeah, you're on the same vibe as us, Andarna. We all just got back into reading.
Yeah. I feel like I've been
who knew
back
what
into
would get me
reading
back
for like a couple years, but not. I haven't. This is actually the first like this kind of fantasy book that I've ever read.
I've read like young adult fantasies,
I guess.
not like non-romance.
What got me back into reading, who knew, would be like fairy romantasy.
Yeah.
Like
This is what
for
I need
years,
though.
I've
I
been
need
telling
something
myself I would
lighthearted.
read books, but then my cousins were
Yeah.
like, "You need to read this fairy romance," and I was just so bored during Christmas. I was like, "Fuck it, I'll read it," and I bought the entire box set at once because I don't know why, and I read it all within a month. Like,
Yeah. That's great. I feel like that's fun if you're I feel like I also sort of got back into read by something that's like lighthearted and like fun. And then once I got more used to it, because I read a ton in like when I was younger, but then I feel like when you have
yeah,
to, like in high school, when you have to read books for school, you no longer can read books for fun. Like some people still do, but I like lost it.
no,
But then once
yeah,
I sort of got used to it again, then I could like, I don't, now I read books that are fun and also books that are like more literature, but I appreciate like this kind of book for
yeah.
being that gateway, you know?
As a kid, I think what got me into reading was like Percy Jackson and like all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Well, like
Yeah.
others, like any of those, like kind of just like I am a child and I am
I
discovered to
have
be the
powers.
chosen one and I
Yeah.
have powers. And then like, you know, and
Uh-huh.
then like got really into Greek mythology. I read like the Iliad and the Odyssey, and then high school was
Mm-hmm.
like read like some bullshit like
Fucking a
Catcher in the
farewell to
Rye.
arms.
Catcher in the Rye or some shit like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit? And I just like stopped reading altogether.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think like
That's how
reading
it
like
goes.
fun books has made it like easier to want to read more in general.
Yeah. It's like a skill that you have to relearn,
Yeah.
you know, after you're like rusty. But it's good. I think I don't know. I feel like I think fucking Ernest Hemingway killed my desire to read.
Oh yeah,
Like that
I
was
was
the
forced to
first
read
book
that
in
in what,
school
like
that I was like,
sophomore
this
year?
yeah,
I
this
will,
shit fucking sucks. Like a farewell to arms, fuck off. A farewell to this book. Like I don't
More like a
But-
farewell
so
to
bored.
legs because he lost his legs. That's what
Hemingway's
the joke we were
favorite
making the whole time.
cocktail is very delicious. The Hemingway cocktail, delicious. Man was an alcoholic. He knew it was what it was
Uh-huh.
Wait,
about.
where's the Hemingway cocktail? What is
Yeah,
this?
I believe that.
The Hemingway daiquiri. It's a very delicious daiquiri.
We know
Daiquiri.
where can
That's
we
Yeah.
get
kind
one of
of
those?
like a floofy drink for that man.
I feel like Hemingway low key was very floofy.
I guess he did drink a lot of what is that? Vermouth, which is like really
Ooh, I
Yeah.
hate
sweet,
that.
right? They were
Hemingway.
always drinking vermouth.
Hemingway died from alcoholism. I'm pretty sure. Like
Yeah, not surprising.
so, but like the Hemingway daiquiri, delicious. It's very. It's like a pink daiquiri. What is a Hemingway daiquiri? It is white rum, maraschino liqueur, lime juice, grapefruit juice with a little bit of lime.
That sounds
But it's
fruity. I think I'd like it.
Yeah, very fruity.
it's fruity, little tart from the grapefruit, delicious daiquiri.
All right, well, next book club, we're doing Hemingway daiquiris.
You mean next
Although I don't know,
in-person
I
book
don't
club?
like maraschino cherries, so
I love
Neither do
maraschino
I have to
cherries.
be really.
I.
If
Neither
it's
do
real
I.
light, yeah.
Okay, while we wait for Andrea, what if let's do a fun topic. What do you guys
Okay.
think your signet would be?
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Let's get into some
Lewis did the homework. He
OCs.
got those questions up.
Some fourth wing OCs right now.
Fourth wing OC. Hell yeah.
In general, I
Uh,
really like telekinesis or telepathy or like some kind of like time space kind of like power,
mm,
but I haven't thought about what my signet would be yet.
yeah.
But I feel like I would ride a green dragon. I have thought about my dragon color.
I mean, as much as I'm an
That is
edgelord
cool.
and I think I would be Xaden, I'm not. I'm not. Like, let's be real. I'm not. I'm way too much of a lover boy for that. But I think at least what I want my signet to be, because I like JoJo, so I need very specific
Very niche powers.
Mhm.
very specific parameters on powers, which I think they also sometimes do in this. is it would be teleportation, but I could only mark up to 4 places where I can send my body to uh like if I have a strong emotional connection to those places that I mark.
Can you like delete a mark
Mm.
and make a new one though, or you
Yeah,
stuck?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I have to have a very strong emotional connection
Yeah.
to those places.
Mm.
So for Violet would
Because
be Violet's bed, Xaden's bed.
I'm a very nostalgic I'm a very nostalgic and
The
reminiscent
archive.
person and very lover boy-esque. So I think it would make sense that I like to think about places so I could send myself
Yeah.
to those
Only
places.
it's like only when you're in the fields for
Mm.
those places.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's a good one. I feel like I feel like they are like quite sort of specific like that, which I like, but also is like a hard thing to think to think up for yourself for
I
me.
mean, yeah, because you have to remember, is this what I want or is this what I think represents me?
Yeah. I feel like I always thought that like of superpowers I would have some kind of like invisibility or like camouflaging type of power. So that would be my like guess. Something that's more like stealth related or like yeah. But
Yeah.
I feel like it does have to be more specific than that for like this universe, which I like, but
Mhm.
it's hard to think of.
And yeah, that's why as much as I think teleportation would be my favorite power of all time, I needed to make it more specific where I need to have a very emotional connection because I'm very uh I'm a simp. Uh and I think that would just like line in where like I need to really I need to have an empathetic connection with a place to be
Mm.
able to go back to it.
Oh, like
Yeah,
it
that's a good
unlocks like
constraint.
or not unlocks, but let's say like solidifies a memory in a certain location, and then that's like where you
Kind
would
of.
teleport. That's cool.
Yeah. Because also I'm watching an anime right now where a character, their whole thing is they don't have a specialty in magic. Their specialty is empathy. And if they can find a way to empathize and understand another character, they can use their magic.
Mm. That's cool.
Not to the mastery of that person, but they can now use. So they have a much wider array of magic if they can learn to empathize with people. So that's where I
That's like
kind of got it from.
that's a fun twist on the like copycat mechanic.
Yeah, because there's one guy who is like autistic coded, where she's trying to empathize, but she really just can't. Like, and she's trying to copy
I
his
don't get it.
magic.
What's the name of
Mm.
this anime?
Oh, it's Freerin.
I haven't started.
I was like, yeah, yep.
No wait, but I'm
I
not. But also, I'm not talking about Freerin. It's a different character.
I need to rewatch. I only watched like 3 episodes. But that's nothing against Rerun. There was a good show. I just
Oh,
stopped
it's
watching
amazing.
anime.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, and Donner said that
Um,
their power would be something with fire, like a firebender.
Fire.
That's good.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah, we love
anything
firebenders.
elemental and anything like time
Elemental
spacey are
is
like
always cool.
usually like the like core mechanics, core powers.
I think I watched too much JoJo. Mine is like way too hyper specific.
I don't know if it's because I just watched Dune, like the first movie, part one, and like the
Man, I
doctor
gotta
being
watch
able to
that.
just like touch the person and know exactly what's wrong with them. I think I would love that to be my power.
So like a mender, but like a diagnostic
Mm.
mender.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yo,
that's
your
cool.
house?
Yeah,
Your house?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Miana, do you have like chat filters on in the Twitch?
I think Twitch filters like vulgarities, but I probably could turn that off. Like I don't mind vulgarities.
I like turn my filters off, but I can't see Andarna's last message. That's
yeah.
just 3 after.
I guess I could. Maybe it's defaulted to something because honestly, I didn't like put up any I didn't put up any filters. The only filter I have is that the chat is like followers only, so I don't get like bots in the chat. But I didn't
sure.
like change the vulgarity filter, so I could probably lower it. It is to me, it doesn't matter. We're already cursing. I curse on stream. As long as you're like 13, I think you can handle it.
I'm pretty sure I said bitch like 10 times, but I also like 3 times said B word for some reason.
Yeah, sometimes I censor
Yeah,
myself.
I was wondering why you were censoring that.
I mean, I used to teach kids like for summer classes, summer camp, so I would have to censor myself constantly during school or during summer camp.
Oh, I only taught children that can't speak English, so I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, they wouldn't know when you're cursing unless they were watching American TV or something.
They would. They
Oh,
do,
really?
but
They know what like the
whatever.
F word is?
Yeah.
Dang.
But like they don't get it, right? Because there's no like really equivalent in Japanese of like a word that is that like
you can't
bad.
say on TV.
Like, there is no fuck. There's just like asshole, you know?
Yeah.
So they like don't think that it's like a big deal.
That's pretty
Which is
funny
fun,
though.
but sorry, Andarna, we can't see your message.
Yeah,
but
you
we're
can
not
self-censor,
purposefully
then
filtering
we'll
you.
know what you meant.
Wait, yo, I log back in because I have to head out. But when are we doing Iron Flame?
Oh, okay. We have to discuss.
Okay.
We were
We were talking
literally
about this.
talking about this.
Oh, really? Is it next week?
Well, I feel like it's kind of up to you because we have 2 free weekends before the wedding, but I don't know what, like, if you are going to be real busy, if you don't have time.
I am off next Saturday.
But what
On
about
the
the
9th.
17th?
That's
two
I'm off
Sun-
to the
well, we can do
17th.
Saturday.
What'd you say?
I'm off the 17th too.
Oh, okay. So we could probably start it. So the only thing was that I'm not free. Well, obviously none of us are free the 24th.
Oh, it's linked.
The 31st and the
Yeah.
7th, I'm also not free. So the next time I would be available is the 14th of April. If y'all are okay taking like a 3-week gap.
We do the book club at the wedding. What do you
Well,
mean?
okay, yeah, that.
Yeah.
Live stream.
Yeah, you can live stream from your phone.
In front of everyone at the wedding.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That'd be so funny.
On the mic.
Yeah, I just grabbed them like, sorry guys, it's time for our book club. We have a
Yo.
sharp 6 p.m. start.
While we're salsaing to the band, we're also talking about to Iron Flame.
Okay, so besides the wedding or the next book club, just kidding. Wait, actually, like so we said like the 17th, or nah?
Wait, do what on the 17th?
Are you free this weekend, Andrea?
Yeah, I'm free the 16th.
No, this weekend would be the
10th.
10th.
Oh, the
or
9th.
the 9th,
I'm free the
9th and 10th.
Yeah, I'm free the 9th.
Okay, so we could do the next 2 Saturdays if people are.
I'm working the next
free.
2 Saturdays, so I'll just have to do it. It'll have to be in
Oh.
the evening again, like now. So.
Yeah, I can do in the evening.
I'm fine with that. I'm playing Final Fantasy.
Bro, I
until
need to
September.
play Final Fantasy. I need to start Final Fantasy.
Oh, I
But,
might. I might have a dinner thing on the 9th evening, but it's not like solid plans yet, so I don't know. But Andrea, you're working on Sundays?
Yeah, and I'm on call too, so I'm all
Okay.
till like it ends at 8.
Okay, well we can
Um,
put it in now, and I'll let
Yeah,
y'all
if
know.
anything, like we can just like give us like a week break. That's good too. I need to get the book anyway.
Wait, so when do we want to
But
start?
I'm gonna. Or the 17th. I could also do the 16th in the evening too, if that works.
Oh yeah, the 16th I'm free in the evening. I'm free in the weekends and the evenings.
Yeah.
Well, just the next 2. But yeah, it's just that I'm gonna have to at least take a 3-week hiatus from the 24th, the 31st, and the 7th.
So maybe we want to start afterwards.
That was my other guess. If you guys wanted to start later, but
Yeah.
I don't know if we're all itching to
Lou,
read it.
can you
Or
handle it?
it's like a month.
I'll wait. I'm still reading the Carter Kane series for Rick Riordan, so I can read
Yeah,
that
like if-
instead.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're gonna like have a hiatus anyway, might as well like not be like itching to read it, because I feel like it's harder to stop reading instead of just never having started at all.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's just as hard.
That's true.
Oh really?
It's just as hard as Xaden is whenever he sees.
Stop! Oh my god, I
fire.
can't get that like
all
thought out
time.
of my head now.
But Wait, all right, I gotta run, but let me know like on the app what y'all
Okay,
decide.
I think April 10th then would be the
Okay,
first
yeah.
weekend. Wait, no,
See
not the 10th, the
y'all
14th.
the 10th.
13th, 14th.
Yeah, see you, Andrea.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, the 14th. Is everyone okay with that? Or if you want to start a day earlier, we could do like a Saturday,
Like when?
Yeah, either of those
the
are fine. I'll
13th
have
or
to check
14th.
Andrea's calendar
Of April?
Yeah,
of April.
Yeah, sure.
you got a month to play Final Fantasy, Lewis. You could finish the game.
Bro, I told you I could read and play games at the same
All
time.
right.
Doesn't matter.
Well, you get another book and read in the meantime. Don't you said you have a lot of other side piece books?
I do, but they're side pieces for a reason.
Oh my god, you get another side piece. That's why they're called side pieces.
You have so many.
Damn, yeah. Okay.
Okay, it looks like Andrea is off on the 13th, so the Saturday. Is that good for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make it.
Yes.
Although I might actually just realize my mom's birthday is the 12th and I might be home in Jersey. But I can still stream from Jersey, assuming I am home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, just pull your mom into the
I know.
the Iron
You don't
Flame
understand,
conversation.
Mom. I need to talk to
Hey,
my
Shirley.
friends about these books.
Yo, Shirley, what you think about Xaden and
She's like, huh? What? Dragons?
Dragons? Okay, the 13th. I'll make that plan. Okay. Good. Cool. Well, we didn't talk about the last chapter with
Yeah, well, we can talk about it now.
Andrea, but- Wow, is Andarna also from New Jersey?
Maybe. Jersey
Miana is from New
represent.
Jersey. The rest of us, well, Miana and
Hey,
Lewis are from
yo,
New Jersey.
Jersey.
I'm from Central Jersey, though. Yes, it does exist.
No, it doesn't. Obama said it doesn't exist, so it don't exist.
Oh, they moved upstate.
Oh,
That's
cool.
right.
Damn,
The Jersey will never leave you.
Wait, what part of Jersey? What part of Jersey? Because very important.
God, you New Jersey people.
I feel like there's a lot of like people from California too. You just like bump into them. I don't know.
No, it's not. It's not just the New Jersey thing.
South Jersey, yes,
Okay,
by
no,
the shore. Yes, let's go. I'm like
no,
20 minutes inland from the
South
shore.
Jersey's real. Okay, if
South
they
Jersey.
said that they went from Central Jersey to upstate, they moved from one place that doesn't exist to another place that barely exists.
Whoa, wait.
Like,
But wait, did you mean upstate New York or upstate Jersey, Andarna?
New York,
New York.
All right, that's what I'm saying. Wait, upstate New York does exist. are you
it
talking about?
barely exists.
Upstate. Listen, anything
Bro,
above
that-
Westchester is upstate.
Yo, that's that's Southern Canada. Like,
Oh my god.
Southern Canada.
Okay, yeah, New York. Yeah, upstate New York.
that's what I'm
exists.
saying.
All right, listen.
Yo, Central Jersey, not real.
It's real in my mind.
Yo, a schizophrenic could also hears voices and think they're real. Don't mean they're real.
Oh my god.
Now you equating New Jersey to a
We're all
hallucination.
schizophrenics, everyone in Central
Schizophrenic
Jersey.
hallucination.
Oh wow, and Dara says
No.
Central Jersey is real.
Wow. How kind of you.
Thank you.
You don't need to be lying right now.
Damn, yeah, we will defend this hill. That's the hill on die on. That and mint chocolate chip ice cream is good.
There's two parts of Jersey. There's the Taylor ham, and there's the pork roll. And so essentially, there's Taylor ham right, pork roll wrong. Only two sides.
Yeah, Central Jersey does say pork roll, but whatever you call it, pork rolls are delicious, and I'm just glad that they exist. All right, let's get into the last
Alright.
chapter. Pork roll. There's some pork roll. That's how you
Oh,
know
no.
they're
Pork
from
rolls in
Central
the
South
cat.
Jersey.
Andarna's from South Jersey, so she's wrong. I'm sorry. You're wrong. I'm sorry about that. You can be wrong if you want. It is what it is.
That's your choice.
Mo-
All right, chapter. Oh yeah, I forgot we had the bonus chapters too. I had some notes on the bonus chapters.
Oh, we have 2 more chapters. I don't know.
yeah, 2 more chapters.
Yeah, well, so
Whatever, they're all
so we're on
the same.
39. I had a
Oh no,
quote.
sorry, 38 was the short
Oh
one.
yeah, 38 was her getting poisoned and losing consciousness.
Unconscious.
39. So Xaden said, "My lungs only fill when hers do." I'm like, okay, you redeemed yourself from that really cringe "her mind is sexy" line.
Yo, I'm an intellectual sexual.
Okay.
Yeah. So emo. Cool.
Oh yeah, and Andarna.
And then we got a Xaden chapter.
Andarna was Liam's last figure that he like made. That was very sad.
Aw.
So sad.
So
Oh.
sad. So sad. Him like getting told off by Turn, like in his mind the whole time. Like you should have told her about that. He's like suffering.
Hmm
He's like, Grandpa, I know.
Oh wait, the from Xaden's perspective, when Dane kissed Violet, he was like, it looked like she was kissing her cousin. That shit was hilarious.
Wait,
That shit
wait,
was
you're skipping ahead. We're not in the
crack.
bonus chapters yet.
Oh, we're not. Wait,
No, we were talking
whoa.
about 39. You didn't even finish it.
But yeah,
Oh, I
that's
thought you
Xaden's
meant last.
perspective.
My bad.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're at the end. I mean, okay.
Well,
So
whatever.
I guess I don't know if anyone else had pre-reveal notes for the chapter, other than us being sad that Liam died, and I guess it's good that Violet recovered. But so when they got the knock on the door, this is like the big reveal. I have to say,
Yes.
I was not expecting. I'm gonna say it. So spoilers if
Yeah.
you haven't read the end of the book. Close this now and or mute the stream. But I know Andarna at least finished it. If anyone else is in the chat who hasn't finished it and wants to enjoy the last chapter and the last page, mute this now.
Get
Your
out while
final
you
warning.
can.
So I was not expecting Brennan. I was expecting her dad.
Me too.
Yeah.
The dad.
Oh, uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I was also shocked. It was good.
But yeah, so anyway,
But
Brennan coming back to life regardless. This is just a throwaway question. Do we still think Brennan is gay, fellas? Like, do we think he?
yes, yes.
Are we
yes,
headcanon him still,
yes,
or?
yes. They
This is the
made
hill I
them
will
a
die
gay
on.
couple. They made them die as a gay couple because they both defected.
Oh,
Now
Andrea's still in the chat.
Max
Max
is
gay.
Brennan.
Absolutely.
Nowlin is with Brennan, and I think Taryn was fucking lying when he was dying. Like he just wanted them to be a happy gay couple.
Wait. So was
Yeah.
Taryn? Whose was Taryn's last rider? The guy who's trying to heal Brennan? Or no? Wait.
Nowlin, the one who had what was it? Like
Yeah.
like energy
Some energy shit.
distribution or something like that.
Wait. So that
Yeah, he was trying to
Nolan was
bring him
Taryn's
back to life.
other rider, or Mike?
Wait.
Alan
Y'all
was Taryn's
also,
last
wait,
rider.
I'm so happy that we are not the only ones who thought Brendan was gay.
Okay, yeah, and Darna thinks so too. Okay, yeah, I forgot that was Taryn's last rider. But yeah, so Taryn was like keeping that from her. Maybe.
Yo, ain't no way that even from the beginning, when they were like, "Oh, Nowlin, he pushed past his limits to try to put his energy into Brennan," like
they were in love.
That's some love shit. You know what I mean? Like,
and if this turns out to not be true, I'm sure there's many fan fictions that fix this.
There's no way that you.
There's nothing Yarros can say that will make this untrue in my mind.
Yeah.
She could straight up tell me that they were both married to women, and I won't care.
They had beards.
My mental shielding is stronger than she is.
Because even before we realized that he was alive still, oh, and Naruto Sasuke, that's so real.
For real.
That's so real. But like, even before we learned that Brendan was still alive, there is nothing gayer than burning out your life force for the boy you love.
For your homie? Yeah.
For your homie? That there's no way you don't love him. And you're like, I'm pushing past my limits to transfer my energy into you. Like, there's no way.
Like, oh, it was admiration. Yeah, and they were
And they were
roommates.
roommates in
Okay.
college.
Like admiration for how much I fucking love you, bro.
But so I wonder how they covered up his death, or if he actually died and did come back to life somehow. That is one of my big questions for the next book.
My thing is, I don't think
Yeah.
they covered up his death, and now I'm wondering if Nowlin was actually a bad guy, and they just needed to make it all believable. And I think, did Brennan kill Nowlin? As
Mm.
much as I think they're lovers, like
Mm.
knowing the government, who knows?
Yeah, I want to know what actually happened at Brennan's last battle, because that will be very interesting.
Or Nowlin actually did sacrifice his life to bring Brennan back, and he actually did it, but the government doesn't want to admit it.
Oh, and then do you think Nowlin died doing it, and so Brennan is alive and not Nowlin?
That's what I
Yeah.
want to be true. But knowing the government, a part of me thinks that what actually happened was Brennan was already against them. Nowlin tried to stop him, and Nowlin got killed. And they made up that whole gay sub story to make it sound more
They're
heroic.
like, oh, this will distract them
Not
from
gay
the truth.
subplot.
Oh, and Darna said, didn't Xaden's dad, quote
Yeah.
unquote, kill Brennan? Yeah, so maybe they didn't
Yeah.
actually kill Brennan in a sense, but they like took him into the rebellion, and that's why like the military basically said.
That's why I'm thinking Nowlin actually was kind of evil, and like they made this whole like heroic story about like how Xaden's dad killed him. As much as I want it to be the love story between Nowlin sacrificing everything to bring Brennan back, I feel like it's more of that.
Well, actually, didn't
I
they say
feel like-
Nowlin also died too for like pushing past his limit?
Yeah.
So he could have,
No,
or maybe he didn't push past his limit.
but that's what my point is like I think because the whole story is Xaden's dad kills Brennan and Nowlin dies trying to revive him. I feel like what actually happened is Brennan defects to Xaden's dad's side. Nowlin tries to stop him. He dies, and like they're trying to cover it up by making it like a heroic story. Even though, as much as I want it to be a Nowlin Brennan story, like
AU where Nowlin doesn't, side with the military.
but knowing propaganda, that sounds pretty accurate to me.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I also feel like
Andarna.
if the like I feel like it doesn't make sense that the government would know that Brennan didn't die, because if he's not dead and he defected, why would they let him live?
My thing
Do you know what I
is-
mean? Like, I think he must have escaped after faking his death, because I mean, I guess like right, the Sword Gales have power or whatever, but like still they have that much power to like keep a clear traitor from like being killed.
What if they just want to make a narrative behind it of like make the whole rebellion? Because obviously the rebellion was bullshit. It was not a rebellion. It was just like them being like, "Yo, like
we gotta send
Fen in her
aid."
back, Wyvern in her back."
Yeah.
What if all of this is all bullshit, and like it was just more convenient to kind of write the narrative this way, where they're evil. Brennan dies in the cause of fighting for Navarre, and like even though they know Brennan actually defects, like they can't tell anyone that.
Yeah, that makes sense, but I feel like they wouldn't let him live still. Like they
Yeah.
executed everyone that was involved in the rebellion.
But
I
what
just
if
can't
they couldn't?
see-
What if Brennan went into hiding? They couldn't find him.
Or maybe Brennan faked his own death, so it looked like he got killed in action.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think, is that like they don't know that he's alive, that he did fake his death.
Dang.
But I guess maybe they are like trying to find him and they haven't found him. But I feel like He's kind of hiding in plain sight. I feel like they would have found him.
And don't people know who he is too? So like even the townspeople are like, "Oh my god, it's like Brennan, that like really cool mender." I don't, maybe unless they don't know what he looks like, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know when Brendan defects the other associates. Yeah, that's a good point. And Andarna.
Well, we'll find
Maybe
out
it's
in
like
the next book of the Empyrean series.
On the next chapter, a Dragon Ball Z.
All right, now we can talk about the bonus chapters, Lewis.
Basically.
The fun stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
I mean, to be fair, I actually didn't
Jaden
have
being
much.
horny.
yeah, a bonus chapter 9.
Xaden is just horny the entire time.
Yeah. So the only note.
Yeah, he was hard the whole time.
These are POV from when he was hard.
But also,
We now know.
we do get to see that he knows Brennan is alive the entire time.
Wait, does he? Oh yeah, because he's like, oh, I shouldn't tell her.
Yeah, every time he's mentioning, it's like, I'm so sorry, my dad killed Brennan. I'm just like, you fucking liar.
He's just good
Yeah.
at lying, or maybe he's like he's not technically lying. He's just like killed in a poetic sense, like killed. You know, his I don't know, one side of
Killed
him.
his reputation.
Yeah, killed his reputation figuratively. He got figuratively killed.
Removed him from society.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, obviously he knows because he brought her there to be mended by Brennan.
hmm
So, like, he's known. But, yeah, that is harsh.
Or maybe like the dad did kill Brennan because he was the one that covered up his or faked his death for him. I don't know. Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe that's why like Xaden's dad like was like, oh yeah, I was the one that killed Brennan or something like that. And then they're like, oh no, and then they just believed him.
Yeah. Because they had to hide him. Because he's a very, like, powerful asset, right, Brennan?
hmm
And his signet and everything.
So but I feel like I don't remember what his specific mending power is, or maybe he's just like a mender. But I'm guessing that's not as rare as Violet's lightning power, because she's like one in a century.
I'm pretty
supposedly.
sure Brennan is
Yeah.
just a mender, but I think that actually is
I think
not
mending is
as
pretty
rare as I think like once in a century kind of thing, but it's
Yeah.
like nearly as
Yeah.
rare.
I mean, when you think about it, Violet literally has like the gods' powers according to like their lore.
She
So,
is Zeus.
Yeah, she is Zeus, god of gods.
Yeah. But I think that
the only
Brennan's
other
mending was
mender
like really powerful.
No, but also the only other mender in existence is some like old dude. Also,
Nolan.
like he's like
Wait,
in
he's
his
the only
60s
one?
or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
I thought there
All
was
the
like
other
some other
all
ones.
the other healers are just like regular doctors.
Regular dudes. Yeah,
Oh.
no, mending is all. It's like maybe not as rare, but it's nearly as rare.
But they have
kinda
to have
thing.
some other menders in the active military, because this guy sounds like he just services the school. Because like Violet knows him from growing up around the school.
No, but I think he's like very old kind of thing.
He is very old. Yeah,
Mhm.
man wants to retire, but they won't let him.
Yeah, I do think that Brennan's mending was like special in some
Mhm.
way, but I can't remember now what it was that they described.
Was his mending special? I thought it was just like he himself was.
Oh
just
yeah,
like...
and Andarna, the one in the hospital wing, was a mender too. But yeah, I thought there
Yeah.
were more other than just the one dude in the hospital.
I don't think. I mean, there might be more.
Yeah, this
but I
is
think
the
it's,
other
like,
kind of lore building I
Well,
need
fine.
to
No,
remind me.
Because I think they
Yeah.
mentioned that like being a actual mender, like someone who, because like mending isn't just healing, it's like you low-key kind of reverse injuries. Like it's very rare.
It's almost like a time distortion thing, right? Like you're
if
restoring
you ever
something to
watch
its previous state.
If you ever watch Bleach, the main healer in the show, her power is you learn is not healing; it's reversing the state of someone's injury back to prior to being injured.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll find out more
Well,
about the
anyway,
lore.
I hope we get lots of great Brennan lore.
Yes, and
In the
finding
next
out
week.
if he's canonically gay.
I will say I need to know more about Nowlin
Yeah.
now that we know he's alive. Like, that Brendan's alive.
Yeah.
Like, what
What
happened with
happened?
him? Did he actually succeed in his healing? Maybe that is what it is. Like,
Mhm.
that he burnt him, because like if he didn't, like, or like, because then Nowlin had to have died, right? Because Taryn obviously had no rider for so
Exhausted.
long. Like, what
Mhm.
actually happened?
Maybe
Was
Taryn will
it
tell
that
Violet, or maybe like in the next book when Brennan like spills the beans on how everything happens, like that's when the truth will come to light.
that's
Hopefully.
I hope. I
Mm-hmm.
hope.
All right,
Mhm.
going back to the
I
bonus
will.
chapter. Oh, what did you say,
Yeah.
Ren?
I would say I will maintain my hope that they were in it together, and Nowlin died restoring Brennan's life because
Aw.
they're in love. Anyway,
This will help me go to sleep for the next like month until we start the next
this is
one.
what I believe. This is the delusion that I live in.
Oh no, yeah. My brain went to two places. It's either that they were both in on it and that Nowlin succeeded, but they lied that he didn't because that Brennan defected after it, or that Nowlin was actually against everyone. Brennan was
Yeah.
already on the other side, and it's all like a ploy to just like make propaganda.
But Tarn is clearly on the rebellion side, so I don't know.
I think Tarn is just an old man who just is on his side.
Tarn does what he wants.
I hope he is. I low-key just hope Tarn is just like, I'm just here, I'm old, and I'm vibing.
I'm old.
He's just vibing, doing stuff with his like dragon mate every 3 days.
Giving Xaden and Violet just the horniest moments.
Getting hot
Oh
flashes
wait,
every 3
I
days.
will say bonus chapters. I love the scale and Xaden banter.
Oh yeah, I said Scale's now my favorite character, or like I used to say Mira. I was a Mira fangirl. I'm actually now a Scale fangirl. She surpasses me in savagery. That's what I wrote.
And I just love that Xaden's like the only person who can match like my sharp tongue is Scale, or surpass me and my sharp tongue is Scale. I'm like, oh, I
Yeah,
love Scale already.
yeah, and he's not lying. Oh yeah, but we also confirmed Violet's height apparently in the bonus chapter 9, the first one. So she
Oh,
is
yeah.
5 foot, like
He says
exactly.
5 foot nothing.
Yeah, 5 foot nothing,
He's,
which is
I
pretty
mean,
petite.
they did
So
mention, oh, I'm
small.
so petite and
Oh,
small.
she's so
I'm so
petite and
broken.
little.
Yeah, I mean they were lying about her being short or small.
I will say the one thing I've noticed in a lot of like these romantasy like female led books is they never cannot mention how small and tiny they are for how powerful they are. Like,
Yeah. You gotta be so little compared to
oh,
your emo boyfriend who's 6'7"
that's so like
and like
so
jacked.
that's so accurate. Is like, oh, I'm such a tiny, frail woman,
Just
and
a cute
my
little baby.
emo shadow boy is like 7 foot tall and so muscular and has 12 packs.
They said
Like,
opposites attract, you know.
Although like this, honestly, that's pretty much like my parents' dynamic. Like I can't even talk. My dad is 6'5", but like now they're old. Like he was like jacked and like super strong. My mom is like 5'1" and
Nice.
tiny. And
damn,
my dad's also like really quiet and like quietly menacing.
damn,
So
your
literally my
dad talks
parents
to shadows. Damn.
basically like everyone's scared of him because he's like 6'5" and silent.
Dang.
But so it happens. All of you out there dreaming about how you're so little and petite and you're big giant man. It could happen for you one day too.
So this matchup isn't too unrealistic. Yeah.
Unrealistic.
I mean,
Yo.
Samaya only dates guys over 6 foot, so it's a thing.
All right, so
It's a preference.
my 2 notes for chapter 16 was about their savage comments, both Xaden and Scales. So my first quote was from Xaden, and I think this is when she came out of threshing and right before he kissed Violet, before Dane kissed Violet. And Xaden says, Atos asked Sorengale, panicking like the infantry shoulder he should have been. I was like, dang, okay, Xaden. Tell me how you really feel. And the other quote I
Get
had
him.
was when Xaden's like, "Yeah, I moved on instinct to protect," and then Scale's like, "Let's not embarrass yourselves by letting you finish that sentence." I was like, "Yo, oh my god,
Nah,
I love her."
I need more scale, like, just like her point of view.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Taryn's very entertaining. I think all the dragons are entertaining in general. I think if we had as much Scale as we had Tarn, Scale would probably I guess like have the most fans. I'm gonna assume she's too good.
Yeah, she's a badass bitch. Yeah, overall, more dragons is my
Mhm.
note.
Yeah.
All right, so final thoughts and questions. I just had we can go over general likes and dislikes about the book. My likes were Violet's personality. I think at times she's written a little like weird, maybe like out of canon, but overall like she takes action, she's motivated, she's funny, like she actually does stuff, which I liked.
Mm-mm.
I thought that the action sequences in the last part of the chapter were cool. They were very diverse characters. The dragons' dialogue was really good, and their personalities were good. And yeah, anyone else want to go through their likes?
Dragons. Yeah. I agree that I like that Violet isn't so like passive and stuff. Like she does take the initiative to like make things happen. Which is nice. It's like nice to not read just this girl who's like so in love with this emo dude and will just like let whatever happen. Um and I like Violet and Xaden's like banter once they like got to that point. Yeah, and the dragons are great. I love the dragons. Once we finally got like an action sequence, it was fun. I hope there's more action stuff. And like I think the government conspiracy stuff will be interesting once we actually find out anything about it.
Very true, very true.
Mm.
Lewis, did you have any likes? General likes about the
Did
book?
you like it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the basic foundation of the entire world, I really like. Uh, Violet pissed me off towards the end, but I did like her most of the time. Uh, Actually, no, almost everyone pissed me off towards the end. Like, that's why I need to read Iron Flame. Like, everyone's so stupid towards the end of the book.
I
But
liked Liam. That was my like of the book.
Yeah, just Liam.
Liam was
period.
the only one that I liked, and then Yarros, just like as the bitch he is, just
Fucking-
killed him off. Like, I really hope that he comes back as a Venin and gets redeemed. Like, I'm already like
Ooh.
just trying to find ways for him to come back. Like,
You have a lot of fan theories.
like I want him to come back as a Venin. They fight him.
That would
Liam
be pretty
comes
sick.
to, and then he's like, "Oh no, I'm not a Venin actually." And
I'm good
I
again.
I just need Liam back. Like, and I need Dane to die. Dane needs to fucking die. No matter how
Or
much you love your country and love your dad and like all that shit, unredeemable. Irredeemable.
I think it would be a really fun resolution to have him like find out all the secrets and have it just like fully like break him.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
he doesn't
just go
die, but he
fully.
just a full mental break. Like
How would you feel
You're
if he
right.
joined the
Goes out-
rebellion too? Or do you like this is assuming he's even capable of doing that?
No redemption.
No
for this
redemption,
bitch.
just straight up killing
No
him off
redemption. No, I need him to learn what happens and just go crazy.
and just suffer.
And that's what I'm saying. Like he learns everything and somehow becomes a venom because of it, and then they kill him.
Oh, he loses it, like control.
Maybe they had to
Interesting.
put him down because he's seen too much with his mind powers, and they're like, "Oh, now you're a threat."
Yeah. And then Professor Carr snaps his neck.
Oh my
Like,
god, that would be interesting though if
I-
they did.
I
If they did kill him, and then he
really-
thought he was special,
I really
unprotected.
don't like like Dane. I really don't like him. Like he's the worst character in the entire series.
We only read the first book.
That's all I need to know, that he's the worst character.
All right, we'll see if that stays true. Good thing this is recorded.
Bro, we heard about Brennan and Nowlin for like a chapter, and I already know lovers.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to in the next book. I feel like we've discussed all of our qualms with this book. I think I've been pretty clear. I wish there was more, or I feel like it's romance and it's fantasy, and I don't think that it does either of those exceptionally well. So it feels a little bit like disappointing on both fronts.
Mhm.
But like the world is interesting.
Yeah,
I
like
do
I'm
want to
not
know what
bored.
happens.
is
I'm
the
just
good
like
thing.
annoyed. Yeah.
I mean, this is my first romantasy, so I don't know, Lewis, if you want to chime in, or whoever in the chat who's read
Yeah,
other
me too.
romantasy, like how well do they do it? Because I'm used to like Harry Potter level lore with like children's and young adult fantasy where they actually go into the magic system, and since they're not
Mhm.
diving too much on character romantic relationships, they actually have a lot more action, a lot more lore going on.
I feel like it's romantasy in the first book. To be fair, it's also, I've only really read one other series all the way through. They have the problem, the first book is trying to set up a world like way too much, where the story kind of suffers from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You mean the pacing or the story? Because to be honest, I thought the pacing was pretty bad, but
no,
the story
like the
was
pace.
interesting.
I mean, like the pacing suffers from it, where they're trying to set up this whole world, but also set up this like couple, essentially. Because they're trying to do both, neither comes out very strong.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
even with the other series I read, the first book, as much as I loved it, was probably the weakest out of the entire series.
That makes me hopeful though, at least.
Because it's like they're trying to do both, like set up the main character, her romance, but also like set up all this like background information about the world in general. And I feel like it's like they never balance it right. And I feel like Fourth Wing has the same same thing. Fourth Wing
Yeah.
isn't as bad as Akatar is, I think, but it has the same problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Darna says it makes me think the romance isn't the entirety of the series. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been so fast? Question mark. But yeah, I think because technically
Yeah.
it is a romantasy. I think I would be okay even if this book didn't have romance per se. If they just sold it as a fantasy book with a romance subplot, I would have been okay. But probably the fact that it's being sold, or the author had the intent of maybe making like a romantasy, that they kind of had to shoehorn those like smut scenes towards the end, where and like and
Yeah.
get them to like have a romantic connection in the first book. Whereas if it was just purely fantasy, maybe they would develop a romantic thing in the next book, or like even further down, which I would have been okay with. Like I'm okay reading that. But
Yeah.
I
feel like this is an issue and a reflection of like writing for this specific like
genre, or
I don't like writing for the marketing as opposed to writing for the book, right?
Yeah.
Like she needed people to be into this because it was romantasy, and not so much of like this is what makes the plot good. Like you have to get the romance in the first book for like people reading this genre to want to read this book.
To be honest, I don't
I feel
even
like
know how big the romantasy genre or how popular it is. Maybe did it like just get
Yeah.
popular? Like within the
No,
last few
it's
years?
very a book talk like
Oh, it's
explosion of
Okay.
this
yeah.
genre in the last like couple of years.
Interesting. Okay. Because I mean,
Not like
I'm
it
not
never
I'm not on
existed before,
TikTok.
but
The only
it's
romance
like the
books
thing that's getting a lot of people into
Yeah,
reading.
into reading,
so
yeah.
I-
That's
it's
kind of unfortunate
blown up.
though. But at the same
I
time,
mean, no,
Yeah.
at least they're reading.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I agree that like I feel like it would benefit from not having to feel like it's shoehorning in all the romance in that first book,
Yeah.
Just because it
but
has
it's
to.
getting everyone to like want to read again.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I just feel like if there wasn't so much of the pressures of marketing it, right? Like having to market this book like towards a very specific audience,
Mhm.
like that it would have benefited from like I like the romance subplot and I like the fantasy, but I think it would have benefited from the romance like being more drawn out and more subplot, being able to develop the world more and like have the romance fit into it more naturally instead of needing to rush into it all the way to get it done
Mhm.
like in the first book. It just felt like a little bit rushed and the other stuff suffered, I think, because of that. Yeah. And also like, I mean, the writing wasn't blowing me away. It wasn't my favorite. I didn't love all of the like characterization and stuff, but yeah, I think it's trying to fit into a very, specific set of yeah. Andarna, agree with you. Make us work for it. I personally like a slow burn. But yeah,
I
I feel like
don't
it's
like
kind of
slow
like yeah.
burn, but only for fanfics. When it's a real book, like you said, like it just feels so like rushed and shoehorned. Where like it's not an enjoyable book. Like if I wanted to read something that was just smart or just like romance, then I would just go to that specifically. But I don't know. I guess the only other romance books I was familiar with, not that I've read them, are just like those typical like adult women like books with like the like hot dudes on the cover. Because I used to work at a library and I would have to like shelve
Yeah.
those
yeah.
sometimes. And I honestly
Oh,
don't
and
even
I
know what the
also
plot of
did.
those were. So some of them were actually like slice of life ish, like a Hallmark movie, and some of them were kind of like romancy and fantasy because it's like they were a vampire or like they were a prince or something like that. I don't know, but is that like? I feel like this genre now has definitely developed, especially with those other series that are out there. So it sounds like it has improved upon just like those kind of like throwaway like one-off novels
Mm.
or
Well, I mean,
romance at
I've
least.
like there is a genre that's just romance, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I've
that's what
read
those are. It's
like
Like
just
the
it's
more
just romance.
Fabia.
yeah, yeah. And I've read more like sort of YA like romance books that it is like romance and it's more of like a rom-com type of like setup usually. But like romance is the main plot and you know that versus I feel like romantasy is more like, oh, it's also trying to do all this fantasy stuff and it's like a long series and all of those like classical like fantasy elements, like a huge world and all that stuff. And
Yeah,
I feel like it
feel
just is hard to make that work really, really well.
I feel like the balance just hasn't hit the right spot yet, where it's just like I feel like every romantasy book I read, the world is so interesting, but
Mhm.
sometimes it feels like it's being stopped by like the shoehorned romance part of it. Even though romance is like a very good part of it, it's just like
Yeah.
it's not like hitting together just the right way when you're
Mhm.
reading it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
tough. And I think it is like somewhat, I think, a product of like this being a market and like needing to like crank out books in a period of time when it's relevant and like the capitalism of it all.
Yeah, that's why it's crazy that Iron Ring
Um,
came out within the same year that Fourth Wing was published. But I was just assuming maybe the
yeah.
author had both manuscripts done at the same time,
I read that apparently the author had all of Fourth Wing and Flame basically written out.
Okay, so that makes sense then. But that's
Yeah.
sad that we'll have to wait a little longer than between Iron Flame and whatever the third book is.
Andre makes a good point, which is that
Spoken like a true
fanfic
writer,
has the
Andrea.
benefit, yeah, of knowing the characters. Which is true. You don't have to do all of that like exposition necessarily to get to know them.
I did read a whole thing about like Draco Malfoy, like why people think he's such like a great character is because of fan fictions having so much to work off of from the original source material, knowing his character. And like if you just take all of Harry Potter as it is, he's a shit character. But he had so much but he had so much foundation from the real story to make him so like deep and so likable and so just like so much to like see.
Yeah, there's a lot more to build on.
And I had a
and like I do.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel like this does like the book. This book almost feels a little bit like it is a fanfic. Like it's written with like not that much like character development, as if we already know the characters and can just do the like get right into it the way that a fanfic does and doesn't have to like develop those things from the ground up. Like this feels a little bit like that. I think that's maybe why the characters don't feel like so like robust to me.
And going off a similar thread, I was thinking if the author didn't put those like two like romance scenes in this book, I'm sure fanfic writers would have taken care of that. Like, and just like did their own thing, and then maybe the author could have spent more time building the world within the however many pages in this book. Also, I wouldn't have minded if this book was probably twice as long as it was, and I don't know what the like average word count or like page length of like an adult fiction book is nowadays, but I think like a Harry Potter book even size. But I mean, I know that's a lot to like sell a publisher on at a time, so she had to go with what she had, but I wouldn't have minded.
I think like Harry Potter is really long. I think Harry Potter is it's like quite excessive. Like it's like every book was like 500 to 800 pages. That's a lot. This book is 500 pages. Like I think that's plenty of pages for like what a first book. I just don't think that maybe she needed to try and fit like everything into those 500 pages. I think it's what you do with the page count versus like if this book was 1,000 pages, like I don't know if I would have wanted to read it.
Well, no, the thing is, I think with the bigger page count, she could have taken her time with everything and actually had all the world building. But maybe like she was forced to.
But would that have been appealing to like everyone who would read this type of book?
I mean, honestly, yeah. Long books don't intimidate me as long as they're good. So it's just that hopefully people who do the reviews and like write the book reviews first before they come out give it a positive review, and then you're not wasting your time on a really long book.
I mean, I agree. Like this book felt way too like everything at the end felt way too fast.
JJK symptoms.
But I feel like for a lot of people, anything over like 500, 600 pages is like not easily like something you would go into.
Yeah. Like
people don't even like to read.
Yeah, that's true. And especially because these books are meant to be more of like a although I feel like the Avatar books are pretty like thick, right?
The first book's only like
Andarna, the best part was the last 6 chapters.
The first book of Avatar is only like 400, 450 pages. Like and like only until you get to the end, like the fifth book, do you get to like 500, 550. Like even then it's still like relatively short in comparison to like very like big fantasy books. Even though the world I feel like could use more, like you're still appealing to people who don't have as much time or don't want to put as much time into these books.
Yeah. I I agree. I think the page count was fine. I think it's just what you do with your pages. But also, like last
Yeah.
year, I read like 20 something books. Probably the like average page count was like 250. Like they weren't like fantasy specifically. I know fantasy are typically like longer books, but like adult literature books are not like always 500 pages. You know, it's a relatively large book.
Yeah.
Dang,
But to be
Andrea's spitting
fair,
more
I feel
random
Yeah.
facts.
there was a
Well,
lot of chapters in this book I felt like unnecessary.
yeah. I still think they
So
were like, utilized necessarily to their fullest extent.
So capitalism
Yes,
coded.
Andrea, I
no,
agree.
that's
These books are
so
written to
fucking
sell,
true.
which is different than a book being written because the author wants to tell the story. You can feel the difference.
I mean, we all feel that in the video game industry. You can tell when something is capitalism
Yeah.
coded versus
Mm-hmm.
passion coded.
Hey, listen,
Like,
Tifa sells
Mhm.
though. There's a reason.
I will say just from like a very like not played it yet. Some parts of Rebirth, capitalism coded 100%.
Oh, like the fan servicey parts.
No, just stuff that doesn't need
Sephiroth's
to be.
hair.
No, just like it's open world to be open
That's
world,
me
and I
coded.
hate open world to be open world.
No, but the original was open world.
Not really.
Yeah, kind of. I feel like if I was like
No,
10 playing that game, I would
fake open world. It was like, but this feels like
I should
it
say free movement. They
saw
had free movement.
free movement is fine, but like sometimes I see things that are like, I want to pad your day. Like that's what it feels like.
So like the Crisis Core submissions.
Yeah. Well, yes.
That was a
Yes.
nightmare.
Honestly, like you can see when some games have like we wanted to make this to make it and we want it to be fun versus like some parts you're like, I feel like you just wanted to make me feel like I spent enough money for this.
Yeah.
yeah. The cash cowing Final Fantasy. You know it. It's working though. It's working. All right. So I guess that was our dislikes. I guess the other thing was that the school. Does anyone else think that the school map was accurate? Cause I didn't.
No. No, that school map is bullshit.
I referenced it many times throughout the first like maybe third or even half of the book, and I'm like, what? This path leads to here, and this thing is here, but this thing is like close to like it just didn't make sense to me.
I didn't ever look at it again once I looked at it in the beginning.
Well, I looked at it and
I
thinking it would help me because, like I said, I was having trouble placing the locations and things. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this quadrant is next to this, and there's this road. I'm like, but the map was so general and like too like big scoped that I couldn't really tell anything, and it didn't really need to be there, to be honest. Like, I don't think I really gained anything from it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it helped me to visualize that like the whole dragons shit is like separate across a gorge from the rest of the quadrant.
Maybe that was it.
But other than that, I didn't look back at the map at all.
Okay, I tried. Trust me, I tried. Yeah. All right, that was basically it. Oh yeah, I guess the only other dislike I had was like the lack of / ineffective character descriptions, but we kind of talked about that previously, like the fact that we didn't know exactly how short Violet was, if she was even that short. And also the fact that I don't really headcanon the other side characters, except I know what hair color they are, and like that's basically it. I don't know how, if they're like taller, tanner,
I have no
skinnier.
idea what anyone looks to each other aside from Riddick funny.
Yeah,
Rhiannon
as braids.
braids. Yeah, that's
Yeah, or like
about it.
protective hairstyle. She said one time. I was like, okay, well, that's one descriptive characteristic of the whole book.
But I don't know. Hopefully
The
they
only
expand
character I
upon
care
it.
about, Liam. The only character she got rid of. The only character I cared of.
I don't even know what Liam looks
Blonde,
like in my head.
blue-eyed,
I
good
just know he's
boy.
tall.
He's buff as fuck. He's like blonde hair, blue eyes. Good boy.
And buff.
He
in
was a
bluff.
golden retriever. He was a golden
Yeah,
retriever.
he was the best in the quadrant. He was the best of us.
Dang. All right, we really gotta dedicate a drink at the wedding or something to Liam. No,
The
at
wedding.
the pre that dinner thing at that beer place.
Okay. The wedding pregame. Pour one out for Liam.
Honestly, though,
Yo, hey, yo, pour one out for our boy Liam.
He died to give us all information we already knew.
He died for our sins.
Fuck
Yeah.
you, Yarros. Yeah, everyone else will be really confused.
all right. So since we might as well just go to 9 anyway, because we're at 8:50. I had 2 questions about the predictions for the next book / rest of the series. My first
Let's go.
question is, do you think the author will introduce another rival love interest, or if it will just solely stay like Xaden / Violet forever? And I'm not saying that she'll eventually end up with a third person, but just saying like introduce a rival character.
I don't think so. Just because I feel like they have so much to work through, like, what benefit would you have from bringing someone? Like, what could someone bring in that would pull her in enough to like not want to be with Xaden,
Mm-hmm.
or like to think of
Yeah.
him like over Xaden, essentially? Like the only reason why she doesn't like Xaden right now, which I think is still stupid, is that he lied to her. Kind of.
Kind
Yeah.
of. Technically,
Mhm.
no. Oh yeah, Andrea makes a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing I could think of is like maybe her getting more closer to her mom, or like her country because of the lies. But like another guy or another girl coming in, like,
Yeah.
I can't see it being realistic.
Mhm.
Like,
But okay, well the thing is I wouldn't put it past the author to do it, but I don't think that it would be realistic. Like
Mhm.
I don't think there's any way you could make that make sense, but that's not to say that it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, honestly, I
No,
hope
she's
that they
a
just stay.
bisexual.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She a Navarre sexual, bro.
Bisexual.
She
She's a
fucks the
Navarre sexual.
country.
She gonna fuck Navarre every day.
She should just go back to the bootlicker Dane then. I don't know what to say.
No. Dane
Yeah.
too much.
She can fuck
Dane
the
is
country, but not him.
Dane is eating the whole boot. She's just kind of licking it a little bit.
Boot eater. Okay, he's boot
He's
eater.
got a whole boot in his mouth.
Dane is deep
Yeah.
throating that Dr. Martin boot. She's just kind of like touching the tip
Caressing the side
of her
with her
tongue.
Yeah, I hope not. It won't make any sense, but we'll see. I think it's just gonna be her and like Xaden fighting over their whatever issues, or like not even like Xaden like laying down like a fucking like bitch, and then her just still being mad. Like in the end of this book, Xaden was so like I feel like he just was so easily like trampled over by her. That also kind of annoyed me.
Wait, but also
He didn't
remember.
stand up for himself at all. He was like, "It's all my fault."
Wait, but also
whatever.
remember.
I was like, "When did he turn into a little bitch?"
Brennan is on the resistance, and she loves
Yeah.
Brennan. There's no way that another man will step in.
No, she's gonna have to get with it.
That would make sense, because if another man steps in, that's like, oh yeah, I'm already on this. Like, it would make no sense that why she's so mad at Xaden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I just wish like
Unless
it
we
just
want to
feels
get
a little
Sweet Home
like,
Alabama with this, and she loves Brennan now. Like,
oh God, get out of here! No, not our gay brother.
No.
Ooh, but they're gonna have to. Ooh, that'll be interesting. There's gonna have to be some conflict then with Mira.
Yeah, so my next question, perfect
Ooh.
segue. Will Mira join the
Uh-huh.
rebellion or stay in the military?
Yeah.
I feel like Mira
Mm,
won't. I feel like Mira won't.
that's a tough one. She's a little more of like
But doesn't she
a
also I
rulesy
feel like the
person, I feel
siblings all
like,
have a
than
pretty
Brennan.
good relationship with each other. Maybe like the
Yeah,
three of them
yeah,
will
they do.
come
Yes,
together. I
but
hope. I hope.
I feel like Mira at the end of the day still supports her mom as much as they butt heads.
Mm.
I
I
feel like
think I feel like they could get her to come around, but I think it will be like a struggle.
Hmm.
She is
yeah, no,
very
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like prejudiced against like the marked ones and all of
yeah.
that stuff. It's like Violet
She
didn't ever really have.
as much I get her not liking Xaden, but like she doesn't like
Hmm.
Liam either. Like
Hmm.
I feel like she's still very much like Navarre, like here till we die kind of like thing.
Yeah, but I do hope that they get her
Hmm.
because
No, no, no. I think at the end of the day they will get Mira, but I
they're
think
trying
it's
to
not
change
gonna
so the mom's
be
true.
very easy to do.
Yeah, yeah, Andrea, that's true. But yeah, I think that she loves her siblings more than she is
Hmm.
like so dedicated to this. Um, but yeah, I think it'll be a hard. It's definitely going to be like a point of strife, which I think is good and will be interesting.
Yeah, I do hope they come together though. So that's like one note I should probably remember for the rest of the series.
Hmm.
Because that would be like a
But
nice
Siblings
way to
unite!
tie everything up.
All the siblings fight
but
back
I
against the
think
government.
there's still gonna be like the sibling like tension of like Brennan and Violet like fully being on the other side and Mira having that struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be a point, like a period of time in which they are on opposite sides, and I hope that they can like flip her at some point. But that's good. I want there to be some kind of conflict.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't end badly for either of the siblings.
Yeah,
Like,
Mira's
or just
gonna
like
kill Nowlin.
well, yeah, I was thinking Mira having to kill one of
again.
her siblings or vice versa. Like, oof, that would be so tragic. But I mean, if it happens, that's
No, I don't think she
interesting.
could. I don't think that she would.
Yeah,
Like, I don't think she's
capable.
like Dane in that way.
Yeah, she ain't that much of a
Yeah,
boot
cause
eater.
Dane is a bitch.
Hmm. But we'll see.
I really
She's
hope
cool. I hope
someone
she's in it
I
more.
really hope Violet touches Dane's cheek and just
Slaps
heart
him.
attack.
Oh, lightning. Would you say lightning?
Heart attack is that what you said?
Yeah, heart attack.
Oh, heart attack. She like jolts his heart.
Just
Damn.
lightning strike straight to his memory touching hands. Like
Uh,
there's no redemption for this bitch.
I just want to know where the story's gonna, I guess, not divide. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like go off into. Cause like, well, now that she's like seen the rebellion side, like, and technically everyone is alive except Liam. Are they gonna go back to school? Cause technically she's still a first year, or is she just gonna be like
yeah, but it's like
in the rebellion?
they can't go back now, right? Because they had that like missive that was like either you save these people or you come back and join the war game.
I
So
mean,
I
they
feel like they
technically
can't
kind of did both.
like
They didn't
they
save
can't go back to
everyone.
school now.
Well,
No, but like they didn't choose to continue participating in like the school thing. And like
mhm.
I feel like that was like a test of loyalty, right? Like there's no way that they just like go back to
But then in
school.
that case, it isn't like so the next time Xaden's caught, isn't like he and the rest of the other marked ones dead basically after this?
Yeah, I think they're like in stealth now. Like I think they're fully in the rebellion.
But what about the other ones, the other marked ones who are still in school or aren't even in school yet. Like they don't know that like this just happened, at least yet. That Xaden like just did some more like stuff that he maybe shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah. Well, that is like a plot point, right? Because it's like his loyalty is what is keeping all of those 107 other kids alive,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
But technically, if another
we'll
marked
see
one
what the
defected,
consequences of this actions are.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I said I wouldn't have gone and saved the village. I would have just gone back to school. But like, we'll save another village another time when we're
Yeah.
not being like actively tested by the commander in chief.
Yeah, it definitely put a lot at risk.
Dang. So what I have a feeling is that the author probably had both books because it maybe could have been one book, and then she just like decided to end the first book here. That's my idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it was already prepared because that was a good cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least we're not the ones waiting from April until November or whenever this book came out. But to be honest, that wouldn't have been that long. And it's summertime waiting when seasonal depression is at its least.
Yeah, I've got other books, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Dang. Okay. Any other final
All right.
comments
Fourth
from
wing.
anyone in the chat or in the voice chat? I gotta make a
think
new
I've raged about this
backdrop
book
for like
enough.
the next book now though.
Ooh.
Yeah, but my theme is always clouds because my channel's kind of like that too. So it'll probably be another cloud photo and then just like some other design. If I feel like changing it up, I don't know if I'll just change up the color scheme and leave everything else as is.
You gotta have thunderstorms now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was
Ooh,
thinking
some
what element
lightning?
overlay I want over.
That's what
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
All right, I'll get some like lightning strikes or something as the overlay.
Yeah. I mean, it also makes sense. Like the book jacket, like motif has clouds and dragons, so we're in the
Just
sky.
like my aesthetic. It's just like me for real.
It's like me for real. From wings.
Yeah, exactly. Except, yeah, my username is a reference to the Maximum Ride series. If anyone's read that young adult novel, which was my favorite series back in the day. But yeah, about kids with wings.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to Maximum Ride series.
Next book club.
There's like 7 books. Actually, the funny thing is that by the time that series ended or the last book came out, I was already like kind of like way into high school. So I bought the last book, but I just didn't feel motivated or had the time to read it. So that book is still sitting unread in my shelf at home in Jersey.
That was me with Percy Jackson.
Yeah. So now I have to do what you did.
I didn't realize I didn't read the last book until I was reading the last book.
So I gotta reread the whole series now and then read the last book.
Wow. But the equivalent of this for me was the Warriors series.
The Cats one?
The Cats?
Oh my god. I never read those. I think I read one.
There was like 1 million of them, so I never would have finished it. But
dang.
That was my childhood fantasy series.
Y'all heard about the Animorphs?
Yeah.
Like whole
yeah.
I would just stare at the covers when I was working at the library. I'd be like, huh? Like, what are these books about?
Bro, the more I learn about that lore, the more I wish I read it as a kid.
Yeah, it seems pretty. I also never read it, but it seems very wild. But it's one of those things where, like, I feel like you can't read it now. You had to have been there at the time, you know?
Yeah.
For it to hit. Yeah.
The covers was what got everyone, though, because they were, like, crazy. Or, like, crazy looking at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But dang, alright, so next book club, possibly, what would we say, the 13th of April?
13th.
Alright. Well, everyone has plenty of time to get their books by then. And I guess, actually, well, I guess, Lewis, you have the physical book with you. What chapters should we read in Iron Flame for the 13th? Because technically, if we do want, we can start now. We just can't read further than our first section.
I mean,
Yeah, what's the page count now? You said it was like 100 more, like 600-ish?
It's about 100 more, but those last chapters are like much shorter.
Mm.
So we don't have to go by
Perhaps-
same chapter numbers. If you want to just go by like page lengths and see how much it is. So we kind of split this book into like quarters. If you want to do like quarters or fifths, we could.
Chapter 11 reaches only. Oh man, these chapters are so like not even equal.
I feel like we should just pick a page count to divide and then just like find the nearest chapter to that to like end on.
Just I hope
so
Lewis don't
600
spoil yourself by
pages.
accidentally reading any words on the pages.
Bro, don't worry, I'm illiterate.
So 600 pages. So like 150, right, would be quarters if we want to do quarters again, or we could do, I don't know.
Quarters was fine because I think we all read pretty quick.
Do 6. Yeah, I guess it just depends on what people feel like they can do in a week. 100 plus pages.
How many pages did we read?
This time it was like, it's like 120-ish, I feel like this time. 125, something like that. Yeah, 125 would have been right because it was 500 pages.
All right, yeah, I'm okay with the same divide again. I think 4 discussions is good because we also don't want to read too much, and then we have like too much to discuss in each thing.
Yeah,
and it's not as like cliffhangery. I think we got some pretty good cliffhangers where we left off in this book. So
cliffhangers, as in he was hanging off her cliff.
His fucking boner was a cliff in his pants.
His teeth
the whole book
apparently was.
His teeth were all over her cliff.
Her cliff. Oh my god.
Okay, so what's that, like 150-ish, and then we'll figure out what the nearest chapter to end on is for that.
Yeah.
Wait, so what chapter is that? Or Lewis, I don't know if you have the book in front of you.
For the first section.
That way, so I know if I start reading like tomorrow, I won't accidentally read fast.
149 is chapter 16.
The beginning of chapter 16?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll read through 15.
1 through 15. Nice.
Yeah, that's a lot because I think
That's
last time we only read through 1 through
split.
10. But unless you're saying that the chapters are short in the beginning.
Yeah.
All right.
So read up to chapter 16.
Okay, yeah. So through 15 up to 16.
Oh, I'm reading this tonight.
You better make sure you have good notes because we're not discussing it for like another 4 weeks. Because like I even forgot what I wrote some stuff about in my notes, and I only read this like last week.
Yeah, tread carefully if you wanna have to stop at 15 for a month.
You realize I've been stopping on Sunday every time we talk about this book.
Yeah, but that's only a week. So 1 week.
Yeah, multiply that by 4.
I'll be fine.
All right. I mean,
yeah, maybe just reread before, do a little recap.
Don't accidentally spoil us, Lewis.
I never spoil.
Yeah, okay.
Neji begs to differ.
Okay, that's the one time I spoiled.
No, you are usually pretty good about asking if people care. Like Sakata, but
oh yeah, Sakata's the
worst. Sakata has spoiled so much shit for me.
And he loves it. Yeah, of course it was coming.
Yeah. He revels in spoiling people. He wants to see our reaction.
Wait,
he does it for fun.
Which JoJo character should hold my place?
Oh, your book.
Which
should I
part?
get the main JoJo? Nararanchi?
Oh, the short guy with the orange headband?
Yeah, or the dude who has 6 bullets.
Who?
Oh,
I never got up to that part yet. Which describe his clothing and his look, because that's all I know.
he wears like blue. Um, he has a red hat.
Oh yeah, he has like a weird like cap on him, and he's
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah. I know that guy. I don't know his name.
Him or Nararanchi?
I like Naranchi just because he looks
Okay.
funny, and he's voiced by a voice actor that I like. So
Okay, I'll do Nararanchi is reading Iron Flame with.
also, doesn't his
With
name
me.
just mean orange in Italian?
Yes.
Well, that was like there's some other guy who's named like prosciutto or something like that, right?
That's literally the entire show.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Well, that I think that part had the weirdest like Italian names. Did you see well
Wait,
speaking
no,
of
wait, that
JoJo's.
is not true. There was a part where someone was named just Vanilla Ice.
Well, no, because they're named after bands. Like I don't count the band names as
Love
being
Vanilla
weird
Ice.
because those are names. I just mean like people just named after like straight objects, like orange.
I mean, to be fair, like a real Italian like last name is like Rosso, which is just red. So, like, that's kind of legit.
Hmm.
I feel like orange is not
But his first name is
unrealistic.
Orange, not his last name.
Okay, well, there you go. What's his first
Wait,
name?
but like
His last
Nararanchi's
name.
Nararanchi is like his stand was like, what was it, like Aerosmith or like
Sure.
Dang. Okay, I should probably go to sleep because I gotta work tomorrow again. But
All right.
all
I'm
right.
gonna go do that quiz that Andarna told
Oh,
us
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I looked it
I'm,
up. It was
I'm also gonna do
it
it.
was on a fan site, so that's why they said spoiler warning.
ImperiumWriters.com.
Yeah. It said it was like a fan website for the books.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
guess next
So
time we'll
I'm
come
gonna go
back.
do that quiz.
Yeah. Next time, write down your answer and we'll all share next time. That'll be the homework.
Yeah. Let us know what your dragon and your signet
Yeah.
are.
That's the summer homework that you get. You know, you have like four months to do it.
Mhm,
Oh, and Darna got
yeah.
Mender. Dang, okay. They're rare. Unless someone gets lightning like Violet, then you're the
Alright.
main protagonist.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
It's accurate. Confirmed.
Dang, okay, this fan site got a pretty accurate quiz going on. I gotta try it. Alrighty, I'll post in my bio that we're coming back on the 13th with Iron Flame. Yeah, Iron Flame chapters 1 through 15. Yeah, and in the meantime, I'll be streaming whatever games I'm playing, aka mostly Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So yeah,
Ooh, piano mini game.
piano mini game that I'm gonna suck at again. But yeah, that should be fun. So I'm gonna stream that on Tuesday because that's when I want to start the game. And I technically already spoiled myself by watching the first cutscene, but you'll get to hear me scream my reaction at it on Tuesday night. So that's that. All right. Thank you everyone for joining, everyone in the chat and everyone in the voice chat. And can't wait till a month from now when we have the other book started. All right. Good night, everyone.